very special guest for you tonight.
Hello, we've been expecting you.
This is not a test. Your government and corporate overlords have implemented new measures for your own health and safety. We are just following orders.
Everything is going to be fine.
I'd like to introduce...
Welcome, everyone, to the rebranded rebrand If by Whiskey. And I think this one will be called If by Whisky Smiles.
Yeah.
So, this is what happened, ladies and gentlemen. Jason, first of all, new intro, slammer, congrats, dude. That thing is so awesome. It's beautiful. We're going to get the copyright stuff figured out, I promise. But more exciting, the gentleman that we're about to introduce here, you know Roman from the intro. This gentleman and Roman are going to work on an outro. Jason's going to work with the graphics we already have. It's going to be this awesome collaboration. This is how agorism, this is how anarchy works. We've been like in these chats getting it going. So what's beautiful about this is when we started this, I wanted to call it If by Whiskey without the E, because I drink scotch, for goodness sakes. Okay. So Jason's like, it can't be, it can't be without the E because people are stupid. And I'm like, God damn it, people are stupid. So we put in the E. So Jason, by the way, about to have a baby girl. Super excited for Jason. It's like, I'm so excited. He's already got the name picked out. He's like, she's coming early. He's so excited. I'm so excited for him. But all that aside, so this gentleman we're going to introduce in a second. Once again, we haven't even introduced him yet. It's, oh my gosh, it's like a secret. But this gentleman was on this game show, something about being smarter than politician or something, some game show like that. And there was this guy named Free, and this guy Free sends me a message. He goes, hey, this guy, he's been doing stuff, but he's kind of stepped away. And I know Jason stepped away. Maybe you want to see if you guys want to collaborate or something. And I'm like, all right, what's his name? And his name is @Whisky Smiles. And we're If by Whiskey. So let me introduce formally this new co-host going forward until he leaves and until he's like clubs me in the head like Cain to Abel or whatever it is. Jake Day, @Whisky Smiles, sir. Welcome officially to If by Whiskey, my friend.
Hey man, thanks for having me and putting enough trust in me to call me the co-host right out the gate. I'm not planning on having any more babies, so I don't think I'm going to go anywhere. But we've got a 9-month-old right now that is testing every bit of my patience. So, Jason, congrats and good fucking luck.
Well, this is what I think is probably going to happen with you two is like you're going to have to tag team just because of the energy you're going to spend on the family, man, which is good.
Very possible.
It'll be a good thing. So Jake, man, you had a show called Jake's Takes. There's a lot of stuff about you. Tell us a little bit about your origin story. What I love to hear is like a little bit about how you grew up, what your parents were like and your environment and stuff. And then like what shifted where and where you went and how you went where you went. That's, and then we'll just go from there, man. So welcome.
Oh, well, okay. This is going to be a multi-episode to be continued episode then. So originally from Southern California, born in Portland, but don't hold that against me. Grew up in Southern California, used to do a show actually down there. So back when I came up, I mean, you and I are both Gen Xers, but back when I came up, it was all about like morning radio. I remember when Adam Carolla kind of took over after Stern, and LA was the
rodeo. Remember rodeo?
Oh yeah. Oh. And LA was the big, kind of the big market for that. So
it was either LA or New York, right? It was either like Opie and Anthony and Howard Stern, or like the guys you're talking Carolla and the guys on the West Coast for sure.
And I can't remember right now, but I think Carolla was the West Coast that followed Stern, and there was somebody on the East Coast that followed him directly that got the lead in for it. Anyway. So growing up there, like I was really into morning radio, that style of like the kind of like this almost like two back and forth. We kind of had bits and whatnot. So this is before podcasting was, I mean, there were podcasts, but this is like 2011. I grew up listening to a show called Kevin and Bean that was out of LA on the world famous K-Rock. Anyway, so
K-Rock,
one of their, he called himself, this is not my title for him, but he called himself the token black listener. So shout out to Anel Rivers. But I literally hit him up on Twitter, like the old Twitter, and said, hey, I'm looking to do a podcast. It's weird how this kind of lined up because it's similar to you and I. Like I said, I'm looking to do a podcast. I literally didn't know this guy, but I knew that he was on the radio show that I listened to. And I knew we probably could combine powers and we ended up doing it. But I hit him up. I said, hey, you don't know me. I would love to do a podcast. And this is when it was like, there was no video podcast. At the time, it was still all audio stuff. And he kind of got the message like, who the fuck is this guy? But nevertheless, I persisted. He gave me a test the first day we met. He had me stop and buy weed in Compton. And he said that if I could make it out of there, then I was cool enough to be on a show with him. And I did. So we
So this is hold on. You're burying the lead, man.
Yeah.
You're burying the lead. From which CIA operative did you buy the drugs in Compton?
No, this was like
Was it Mike Rupert?
Had to have the medical card days.
Oh,
so
okay,
when you
cool.
got the
Yeah,
guy
I
in like the flip flops and the Hawaiian shirt who said he was a fucking doctor. Take you in the back room and
hey, bro, I'm a doctor, bro. Just come on in and like kick off. I got you taken care of, bro.
The back room was the doctor. The front room was the dispensary, as they called it.
I still get my medical card just for other protections that I can have. So I actually do it in Arizona, even though it's recreational.
Yeah,
because I get tax breaks and other stuff, but obviously or sales tax breaks.
Well, I quit. Next week will be 1 year, and I went hard, and I
Congratulations, man.
Well, thanks.
Yeah.
I miss it every day, but also it was time for me. Like I smoked so much weed and that pen that you've got there. What's up, Jason? Yeah, I had one of those.
This is just a pen, man. This is just a smoking pen. It's like on fire. I write with it. It's not anything else.
I had one
of
those.
But if it were something,
I was going through like 1.5 of the 1 gram cartridges a day. Yeah. So that was,
I'm not going to say, but this is one gram is usually 3 days for me.
Okay. Yeah. I was 1.5.
I'm measured, but it's like a steady, but it's all nicotine, of course.
Sure. Of course.
I mean, we have to be, we can't crisscross the particle streams or anything.
I would get up and, with the job that I had, we can get into that too. And I was running my own company, but I would start at 5:30 in the morning, and
I'm a janitor. Sorry.
And
I'm so happy. That's just hilarious.
Go until bedtime. And so it just got to be where, number one, it was too expensive. Number two, my tolerance was so high that it was just more of a habit than anything at a certain point.
Yeah.
And
I've got it down to $8 to $10 a day.
Oh shit. That's
so I'm like, good. And once again, I do it in this wholesale kind of way, if you know what I mean? Cause the medical allows me to actually do more.
Yeah.
So I wholesale it, and then I get it down about $8 to $10. I'm like, you know what? That's a cocktail. That's a drink. That's a drink at a bar or happy hour, that's a beer. So I can handle that. But I measure it. I did, to your point, it got out of hand. I'm like, whoa, I'm burning through stuff way quicker. And you have to, but the good news is how was your withdrawal though? There was none, right? You just wanted it.
Fat dicks.
Yeah, but you wanted it, right?
No, I knew it was coming, so I planned for it. But and honestly, like I said, the reason I stopped is we were planning on having a baby, and I didn't want to be I'm older as it. I have 2 other kids that are older, but I didn't want to be that old dad who.
Come on, co-host, shout out, bro. Come on, get in there.
What up, Free? I didn't want to be that old dad who was just high all the time and getting fatter and can't chase my kids around. So I made the decision to stop. And anyway, so I digress, but back to LA. So
back to LA.
Met up with Anel. There was nothing like StreamYard, Riverside, nothing like this at the time.
No.
So what we did, we rented, I don't know if you remember where you can rent office space, flexible office space.
Yeah, WeWork. Yeah, basically co-op.
It was the same idea before WeWork.
Right, it was really before all that stuff.
Totally. On Wilshire, downtown LA, we would rent a spot every week for a couple hours. We'd pay the money, and that was our physical address. So we could have guests come and sit in with us do the show, and literally pack up all the mics and soundboard and computer and go home every day. And so we would sit out in the parking lot and get super baked and go in and do the show. And we had some pretty good guests back in the day. I won't name drop too many, but we had some really good guests back in the day. And then I moved up to Seattle in 2012, and we kind of stopped the show. And looking at the trajectory, I mean, who knows what, coulda, woulda, but looking at the trajectory we were on, like, I think this was like early. We had like Joey Diaz and stuff back in the day, Ari Shaffir. Like, we probably,
you shared that one with me, by the way, the 30-minute call with Joey Diaz. It's literally, ladies and gentlemen, we should probably put it up. You should probably put it up just to have it up there, but it's the most rudimentary recorded piece of shit phone call. But once again, super entertaining, super engaging. It was awesome. Joey Diaz, 2012. What's up, cocksucker?
It was all
great.
audio.
I loved it. Yeah, it was just audio. It's such a great thing.
So
I loved it.
What we used to do is take an iPhone and plug it into the soundboard, and I would use Google Voice, and I would call, because you can record calls on Google Voice. So I would get like a call-in voice, and then we would have our live, mic set up for the input, and we just did what worked. But it was a cool, fun show.
Hold on.
What's up,
Reset
Terry?
here. Hold on. We got Terry. We got Amity. We got Free. We got Jason. We've got a lot of people out here. And now I do not know who this person is. Amalia Rich.
Oh, I know who that is. That's
cool.
My buddy Richard in Florida.
Oh, awesome. Rich, welcome, man. Welcome. So welcome to your new host here, If by Whiskey. I think I'm pointing the right way, I hope. So anyway, I just want to welcome everybody, man. First of all, it is our people who drive us, Jake. Like, if it's not for these people making awesome comments, I don't know. This is just fun for me.
I will ramble for 4 hours, so cut me off whenever you need, and we can redirect.
No worries. No worries. But here we go. We got Joey Diaz. Got to get that. So we'll have to put that up for you guys.
It's an old recording. We got Ari Shaffir like after he was doing the Amazing Racist videos back on YouTube, like that long ago. That's when
after he dosed people.
And he came, pre those days. Yeah. He came down to Wilshire and came into our little WeWork spot, and he was like, "What am I doing here?" But he did it.
That's so cool.
It was cool.
That's awesome, man. Well, I hope let's hope that they, maybe there's a little luck that we can get there. I was literally just at Rogan's Club this weekend. I was at the Comedy Mothership.
I love that place, man. I've been there a few times. It's
okay,
awesome.
cool. How many times you been?
I'm
like 2-3 times, like 3-4 times or something.
Half dozen probably.
Oh wow, that's awesome, man.
My career, I'm in fire protection. Okay. So like fire sprinkler systems, that kind of thing. I grew up around it. When I moved to Seattle, I got kind of back into it. I was in a band for many years. We toured, and I thought for a minute that maybe that was going to be a career where I was going to eke out, enough to pay the bills. And
like studio work, you could do or do some other stuff as well.
Yeah.
There's a lot of amazing musicians that are not like on the radio. For people who don't know, like the radio does not determine quality. And I shared that link with you. That guy is the best vocalist you will ever hear in your entire life, and he'll never really be on a radio station.
No, it was great, but honestly, like especially the way we're heading with AI and whatnot, like I think that the live performances is really gonna it's going to get more and more value again, like it used to. Because once COVID hit, live music was just out. Like we were on tour when we filmed our music video on Leap Day 2020. So February 29th, 2020, we headed out on tour, and literally like 3 stops into the tour, they started canceling the rest of the shows. And that was kind of the all right, I guess we're not doing this live shit anymore.
I've got my story for that too. So John Bellion, another amazing musician. Okay. John Bellion co-wrote Trumpets with Jason Derulo. Okay. He's written a bunch of other hits. Anyway, he wrote this other hit that I'll share in a second. It's December of 2019. He cancels on like the Phoenix Jingle Ball tour or something because he had something he couldn't do. And I love acoustic. I'm not the biggest fan of like hardwired, because like that's where I find the quality, because that's what I am. I'm a singer, so I love the voice.
Yeah.
So he schedules some impromptu acoustic show in January of 2020. So I'm like, oh my God, I jump on it. And he actually does Justin Bieber's Holy, but he wrote Holy. So he's singing Holy live, and I've got it recorded acoustic. And it's like the first time it was ever recorded. Then I had David Ryan Harris, that guy I sent you the music to. I had him February 2020. COVID shut it down.
Yep.
He had not come back to Phoenix for 5 years. I flew with my girlfriend to celebrate our anniversary to Austin this weekend just to see him. That's how, like, to your point, like, that's how vital music and comedy, all this stuff is so important to everyone's lives, man.
No, 100%. But I guess let me get back to where you're at. Is like,
absolutely.
When COVID hit, I started my own company. So I was basically, a lot of stuff got shut down. Construction didn't get shut down, but I started my own company up here near Seattle. I opened a second company in Austin, Texas, because I had a friend who lived out there in the same business with me. So smash cut, the real short version, I was going out to Austin like once every 3 months or so. And so I went to the mothership like the weekend that it opened. I went a bunch of times in the early days to when they were playing next door at the nightclub they were in before Mothership opened up. I can't remember what we saw.
What was the one in the corner there?
We saw an old episode of Kill Tony back in the day. Like it was awesome. But I used to go to Rogan's Club almost every time I was in town to see. I mean, I saw Segura there. I saw Shane and Matt there. Like it was really cool to see. But that's always been my business. So I've been in construction. During COVID, it was really good to us. I can't complain. I'm a pure blood, by the way. I never got the shot. But
hey, I'll get you. Hey, also before we continue, just on that point.
Yeah.
I spoke with a woman, Shelby Hosanna. She has a website called unjected.com.
Okay.
Unjected. This is a social group for people who did not get the jab like us. It doesn't have to be relationship, but a lot of people met their significant others through that. But there's a lot of social groups that are building through this unjected group. Shelby also lived in Lahaina. Her mom was the last car to get out of there.
Oh, wow.
The police told her to turn left, and she's like, F no, and turned right. You know how they turned her back into the fire?
Yeah.
She said she went the other way, and she got out. She was the last car. She didn't see another car leave after hers, she said. Jeez. And that's an interesting podcast. Just so you know, she might be at Freedom Fest too in Vegas, because that's where I met her. So
Unjected.
just to let you know, it's unjected.com, everybody. Go on that site. It's really cool. Shelby's so cool. And I think we're going to meet her at Freedom Fest, buddy.
What's up, Brent?
Anyway, so please. Pure blood, sir.
Yeah, so during COVID, we got really, really busy. Construction was one of those essential things. And we grew our company pretty big to where we sold it at the end of 2023 and kind of plan on having a baby. So I took about a year and a half off. Just had time, made a baby, was home for her while she was pregnant. Did everything that we wanted to do while I didn't have to work. And then recently kind of got back into work. I wouldn't say for fun, but I got back into it because I really like what I do. But that's kind of my day thing is fire protection. And my buddy Rich that's on here in the chat, that's where he and I met. He's in the same business up here in Seattle till he got smart and moved to Florida. But yeah, so I've been in Seattle since 2012, and my wife is from Southern Oregon, and we are moving back to Southern Oregon, well, back for her, first time for me next spring. So looking forward to getting out of Seattle for sure. Now, granted, I understand Oregon's not it's like frying pan into the fire kind of thing, but we're not going to Portland. We're going all the way to the south end of Oregon, where we're damn near California. So,
well, NorCal is it's like the whole NorCal, SoCal, and the whole Southern Oregon. Yeah, it's like little territories, and they kind of cross the borders a little bit. It's more cultural depending on the communities, man. And welcome, Brent. For some reason, I can't even pull up your thing. It's not coming up here, but I see you in the chat there. So welcome. I'm trying to find you in the.
That's the really like bookend to bookend, but there's tons of chapters in between that you can pull out of me, whatever. But
all right,
that's the quick version. And the whiskey thing. The reason I did whiskey without the E is I'm a Scotch guy. I like drinking Scotch. Now, I say that with a caveat. The only reason I'm not sitting here with a glass right now, there you go, is I got to do a sauna. I got to go in the sauna after we do this show, and I don't want to drink first and then go in the sauna because I'll probably die.
That's a great idea. Let's not kill you or let you die.
I didn't want to have a dip, but I'm a Scotch guy.
Hey, first co-host and he dies like on the first thing, and then I'm like, I'll be burning through 3 co-hosts then, and then now I'm gonna have the thing pointed at me now. They're gonna be like looking at me like, what happened? What are you doing?
It'd be your fault. It was peer pressure. It'd be 100% your fault.
We got Mad Dog in the house.
I got
what
really
up,
into,
Mad Dog?
I got really into American whiskey.
Is Obond your favorite Scotch, Mad Dog? Or who's what's your favorite Scotch, man?
Mad Dog, I think
everybody put your favorite Scotch in the comments. Maybe we'll get a couple bottles and we'll start comparing or something.
I think the Oban 14 was his favorite there. That's what he was talking about.
I hope so. I hope so. So what we're gonna do, I know if you saw a couple podcasts, but Jason and I came up with this thing called the simulation sip, which we got to ease into that thing because that thing's like a book when we try to go through it.
Okay.
But basically, it's an homage to Scott Adams.
Okay.
So basically, we're going to start every show where we do. It doesn't have to be Scotch, but it could be any drink you want. But we do a little thing where you're going to say something, I'll say something, you say something. It's going to be a beautiful thing. So once we get this settled down, we have never spoken, man. I wanted to get to know you this way. I didn't want to be like, hey, I know, hey, what's up, Jake, and like act like we know. I don't know you from Adam, and I'm just excited that we're here, man. It definitely was supposed to happen in some way, so we're here, and I'm just really grateful for it.
Well, thanks, Free, for the hookup for sure.
There we go. Oh, Chivas Regal, right? Regal, Chivas Regal.
Yep.
There it is. Jason's already drinking because he's dyslexic.
I got really into American whiskey though, and kind of nerded out on what they were trying to call American single malt whiskey. And there is one of the best distilleries here in Seattle. And so I kind of went to the distillery, learned a ton about, and we can save this for another time, but I nerded out hard on single malt, all that kind of stuff. And I really, I do love Scotch, but American single malt whiskey is made very similar in the same vein. Because, if it's not from Scotland, it can't be called Scotch.
Right.
So this is made in the same exact method and ways. But there's a new classification that they just got done by the American Single Malt Commission called American Single Malt Whiskey. And it's an actual designation of the proof that it's got to be bottled at, the grain, everything. So I've been really trying to do my patriotic duty these days and drink the tariff-free American whiskey. And there's some really good stuff out there. The market is growing really big. So I could add the E back in now that I'm not drinking as much Scotch, but I've had this handle for years, so I'm stuck with it.
And you're smiling, so you love it. So before we continue, Brent had something in the chat, and it's weird, Brent. I can't understand why, but it's not coming up in the little window on my side. But it was something about where in Seattle are you from? If you could retype that.
Oh, there Brent, it is. I see.
Okay, if you see it.
I'm out near Lake Tapps, Brent, right where you used to be. I don't want to give away my exact geo coordinates, but
let's not do that. Yeah. How many minutes and seconds, latitude and longitude? What was that again?
I'm in the southeast sound out near Bonnie Lake, so right by where you were there. And when I moved here, I moved to Seattle. I lived in Ballard in Seattle, and it's weird because 2012 doesn't seem that long ago, but I'm telling you, like, it was a different world. It was a cool city still. It still had a cool vibe. And I've watched that place deteriorate. And now it's to the point where, because of my job, I'm always going into buildings under construction and things. And I had to go into, and I always carry every time I go anywhere. And I went last week to an abandoned building with no power, and we're walking through with flashlights, and I had a hand on the flashlight and a hand on the pistol, and we did our building search that way, because Seattle has completely deteriorated to a kind of a hellhole. I mean, there's really cool spots still. There's a really awesome whiskey bar in Seattle. There's some cool charm still in the city, but the scabs and the needle marks have overtaken the cool spots. And I'm really curious to see what this new socialist mayor does to the city.
It's only going to get better as government grows. So
Oh, yeah.
what's really interesting, I got a Portland story. So I used to work for Xerox, Xerox proper. So they were out of Wilsonville, which is literally just outside of Portland.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I had the privilege of teaching a team to replace me. You know how you get to do that? You know, you get to you get to coach people out of your job. It's like, great, thanks. So I'm like, might as well do that. So I fly out there with the team, and the Voodoo Donuts was still big at the time. So this is when you could still just barely walk. You could walk the street. But like, is it really late at night? It's like, that's when you had to be just a little careful.
Yeah.
This is 14 though, right? But this is
Yeah.
it. It's changed so much. 10 years. I mean, it's a look at everything culturally, everything. Find me a movie 10 years ago, like Hangover. That was like 2010, I think, or 12. I mean, when's like a good
think it was older
offensive
than
movie
that.
that like you can make again? You know what I
We're
mean?
old, but I think it
Something
was
that
older than that.
something that says retard again, man. We're Gen Xers.
Oh,
Come
I
on.
say it all the time. Shit.
No, I know. I just want a movie.
Yeah,
that-
no, I get it. Yeah, no,
anyway.
it's changed a lot in the last 10 years, and it's the change has gotten exponential, and it's I'm really curious to see where it goes, where it ends up. Also, I got to take a minute to say to Brent, the other day I posted something. I thought it was really witty and really funny, and I posted it, and it sat up for a few minutes, and then I was like, that doesn't sound funny, and so I took it back down. But I was commenting on Brent because every podcast I see him in, he's got his hat, he's got his glasses, and that black hoodie, and he was like the punk rock Lex Friedman. And I was making a comment that he's always like wearing the uniform. And after it was kind of like a tip of the cap, I guess. And after I posted, I'm like, that sounded pretty shitty. So I took it back down. So I don't know if he saw it or not. So if you did, Brent, that wasn't the intention. But anyway, keep rocking the uniform.
I have a Brent story as well. Welcome, 95 Sporty. We have a new person. What's up? Do you know this gentleman, Jake, at all?
I don't, but we both do now.
Well, let me tell you something. The chat is alive. So get in the Rumble, get in whatever chat you can. It seems to be really active. We've got 135 people on X, and this is through Jason's account right now. So just to let everyone know, we're going to be switching to Jake's account. Jake, you're going to be the one that it's going to go through on X going forward. Okay. Just so you know. We'll get all that straightened out, but obviously we just wanted to meet before we crisscrossed everything. But anyway, we're going to be doing that. So we're going to make sure that everybody's taken care of, but there's so many people in the chat, so many people there, all new names. This is so exciting for me. But what I love is, I think Brent might be a psyop too. Then he's like Kaczynski, Ted, a little Unabomber action. Is it?
I think
No,
Brent's
but
gonna have to DM me the clothing company name because I want to take a look.
It's a narco. Oh, he's got it up. A narco syndicate. Put it up in the chat. Write it down in the chat, Brent. It's awesome. I can't say certain things, because we talk off the record sometimes. You know how that works. but I don't want to spoil. But he does have it. A narco syndicate. The website is live. Feel free to either put in the website maybe without the like H or something so that it works, or you can copy and paste without corrupting it or whatever, however it works. But my Brent story is this. He had the lectern guy on, Adam, Adam Johnson, right? He had the lectern guy on, and they had a running joke about Brent made a joke about him putting his Christmas tree up too early. Adam putting his Christmas tree up too early. So Adam put a hamburger in front of his Christmas tree, and he said, look, I made this burger or something, which was like a poke at Brent, but I didn't know. I thought it was more of a poke at Christmas in general. So like I responded something like, Hail Satan. And I was kind of being glib, and Brent's like, what are you talking about, dude? I'm like, oh, I just misunderstood. So like, we all make those mistakes, Jake. We're fallible, man. We're just human.
I'm telling you, no bullshit. I'm looking at Brent's clothing company right now. This is exactly the kind of stuff that I wear. So I guess I'm gonna have to drop some cash on Brent here.
There it is. I can't make that any larger in the chat. So if you guys maximize your windows so you can see that, but it's a narco. If you can read that off. So
he has no feelings.
And I'm old. No, he does. Oh, that dude. Yeah, he doesn't.
I'm really looking forward to so when you guys were talking a couple weeks ago, and we can get into this today or another day, but about something about
it's your show, man. It's our show. Fuck it.
You hit your head and now you see ghosts or something.
I don't see ghosts. Yeah, I don't see ghosts, but yeah.
Whatever.
I know people who do. I actually do know people who claim that yeah, for sure.
That's the paraphrased my version, but I'm really looking forward to getting into that because I think that's gonna be a fun conversation. And I really like where you guys were kind of heading with it. And I was trying to jump in last week, but I'm looking forward to getting Brent on so we can really get into some of that.
Yeah. So what I'm real excited about next week with Brent, just to spoil, like to tease it for everybody, is like Brent came across me somehow, I think through Clint, that one episode I did with Clint. So Clint was so gracious in doing it. And I shared with you, man, I was about to quit this thing. I swear I was about to quit. Like, I got an email from a guy who I actually went to his house, spent like hours with him, bought my equipment because of his recommendations. And he emailed me. Like, I literally was like, hey, it wasn't like, hey, God. It wasn't even like, hey, universe. I was just like, what do I do? Because Jason, once again, Jason's got this new chapter and I'm so excited. But, hey, I got to figure out what I got to do, right? Is it going to go away? What do I do? So I get this email from this guy. It's like he never met me. And I'm like, oh, I clearly don't make an impact because the guy who I actually met for 4 hours literally broke bread with him. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like, gave him my business card, everything. Because this is a story. It's the craziest. I don't know if you heard it, but I'll try to
have one of
keep
those
it
pens
short.
too, though. Maybe that's why he forgot.
Maybe he's got a couple of these. They're different. Maybe he's got the DMT ones. But so this is
that one I didn't quit.
So I don't want to call him out. Okay, I'm not going to use his name, but the guy has a podcast studio in Arizona. He goes on LinkedIn and he emails like a handful of like content creators. I happen to be one of them. It's May 2024. Hey, Mark, my name's blah, blah, blah. I've got this podcast studio in Mesa. Hey, I'd love for you to come out. I'd love for you to check it out. We'll do like a little thing. We're going to record like a little like tutorial thing. And I'll show you the rooms and all the different recording stuff. I'm like, awesome, man. That's so cool. That's the nicest thing. How'd you come across? We literally have a back and forth on LinkedIn for, 30 chats back and forth. Right. So I end up going to this house. I'm the first to be there. We're Gen X, right? I'm the first to go, the last to leave.
Yeah,
that's how we work. We sweat equity, everybody. You got to put in the work. This is nothing's easy.
And lots of Irish goodbyes.
And lots of Irish goodbyes, which we're going to get into that. Actually, Jason started that. I think you can continue the Irish goodbye. I'll give you the con. So anyway, so I go to this guy's house. Super nice. He does a presentation. He tells me get the Sony ZV-E10. Boom, it's right there. And then he tells me to get the Sigma lens, but I ended up getting the Sony one because I got a good deal. But we went through this whole thing. We even got to get the fan on the back for the cooling and this and that. And here, have some charcuterie. And we're just gonna sit here. Here's my wife. Here's my kid. Well, literally, we're just talking the whole time. The next day or that night, I go home, and I literally look up what his podcast studio's named in GoDaddy.
Yeah.
So I go look it up and it's available. So what do? I buy it for 3 years. I instantly message the guy through LinkedIn and I go, hey, you were so kind to me and inviting me to your house. I got your website address and I took it before anybody grabbed it. I'd like to give it to you as a thank you. It was like $43 for 3 years. You know what I mean? It's like no sweat off my back. Like the guy invited me to his house. Like it was a really nice thing. And I go, I'm just a tech tard. I don't know how to do it. So we message a few more times back and forth on LinkedIn. And literally I get an email like the day that Jason's like stepping away and I'm questioning whether I should continue this. I literally get an email and I'm trying to find it, but I don't want to embarrass myself that badly. But basically it's like, hey, Mark, I see that you have this address, blah, blah, blah. I would like to purchase from you as I have I actually own this company, blah, blah, blah. What would you be interested in selling it to me? Thank you. And it was like to my, my Knocked Conscious podcast, Gmail, but it wasn't like a form letter or anything. It was completely like,
maybe the lesson here is he doesn't use LinkedIn.
That's all he's on. He posts on LinkedIn all the time. It's unfortunate. I know. No, I was trying to spin this, man. I got to admit, I was trying any way to give this kid grace. I'm like, other than him not being the one sending the message, but like,
I mean, it just sounds like either he's completely checked out or, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to be charitable and not just call him a retard, but it seems kind of silly if you meet somebody and spend time with them and then they message you and then you forget that you met him, and unless it's two totally different people and he's got like the cool AI chatbot doing the responses for him. But I don't know, man.
Yeah, and to be clean, like, look, this is what I thought going into this. I'll be honest. Like, I've been doing this 5 years. Okay, over 5, over 200 episodes, probably 500 hours of me jabbering for it, endlessly, right? So there's like 3 types of people here. There are people who have it. Somebody gets behind a microphone, instant, like, just something, right? Everyone's just drawn to them. There's just something that the way they speak, the way they do it. Then you have people who can earn it. You know what I mean? That's you and me. We're the workers. We put the time in. We get better as we go. You know what I mean? We like build that. We start leveling up slowly. But then there's people who like think they have it, or you know what I mean, and try, and they just don't. They just will never. They won't. But it's okay if they want to do it. It's just not there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I was on that cusp. I thought I could earn it. I really did, right? And then this email felt like, dude, you didn't earn shit. I gotta be. I mean, I felt bad. Like,
yeah, don't base it on that, because that guy sounds like he's a couple bricks shy of a
I
load.
totally get it, but it just happened to be when I asked, right? So I'm like, I'm sharpening razor blades. I'm loading mags. You know what I mean? Like, I'm like, so no, but this is a beautiful thing. I literally surrendered, and I'll say surrender because we have a lot of people of the faith out there. So I guess that's the most universal word I could use. But I literally was like, I had come to the like sense. I'm like, you know what? I just don't have it. I just don't. It's cool. I'm good. Like, I kind of made peace with it, right? The second I made peace with it, an email from that Bryce Eddy guy who I had on yesterday comes on, followed by an email from Shaka Mitchell, who we're having on tomorrow. Yeah. Followed by the thing from Free, followed by ding, ding, ding. And now we have 10 podcasts already scheduled ahead of time. And like, I was going to quit 3 weeks ago. So like, what a weird, beautiful thing that we're doing this right now, man.
No, I'm
just loving it.
I couldn't agree more. And here's the thing, man, is, you know, I like I said, I haven't been doing this for a long time. And when we did it before, it was almost too early. But podcasting the last decade or so, I mean, every fucking body has a podcast. And so it's hard to really define yourself and stand out in that group of there's just so many choices, and there's only so many hours in the day and so many so much bandwidth to try and absorb what you can. I mean, I try and catch multiple shows, and I can't keep up on the stuff I like to listen to, let alone I'd like to try and read books still and pretend that I'm doing something to educate myself. So I can't just do all podcasts, but it is really, really difficult to stand out in the podcast world. So don't beat yourself up too hard, but you just, sometimes you get that.
And I promise I don't.
Magic
I promise I understand that. But like in this specific case, that I like the way this interaction between this gentleman and myself, like he should have been like, hey, I kind of remember, or like, I'm a tech tard, dude. And this kid worked for ChatGPT. He did like a podcast with ChatGPT back in the day, like during its infancy. So like, yeah, so he's not I don't see him as dumb, but it's like, you couldn't have looked in LinkedIn messages to type in my name to see if you'd talked to me before. Like, how would that not have triggered? Like, I really think it's like, I think we're fucked because the brain has been handed off to computers, man. I really do.
That's why
it felt bad. No, and you're right. And it felt bad for a second. So let's go through some of this stuff.
Of course, it's a natural feeling, but hey, one of the 4 agreements, man. I don't know if you're familiar with that. One of the 4 agreements is don't take things personally. So that's one of the most important things to live by.
So Jake, if I may, are you cool reading the comments as we pull them up?
Oh, I don't care. I'll do whatever.
Okay, cool. I'm trying to, let's do it because Jason did that all the time. So if we pull them up, if I pull something up, feel free to, whenever you're done saying your thing, just read off the comment, and then we can talk about it. But thank you so much, 95 Sporty.
Yeah, I'm gonna guess that Sporty's a friend of Rich's is if I had to roll the dice here and put a bet down, but I'm grateful. That's really cool. Rich is one of my longest ride or die homies, and everything I've done creatively, he's always jumped on board and been right off the bat. So big shout out to Rich.
And shout out to Terry and Brent. Yeah, Brent's not in the chat for some reason, Terry. I can't really explain it, but he's coming up on in the scroll in the video. I don't know what's going on there. So if you can see him, if you can click him on too, Jake, feel free to do that too.
Okay.
I don't know.
Well, I just doing this podcast so far is costing me money because I just bought shit on Brent's website. So.
Oh, that's not good. Anyway, cool, man. So
gonna cost me.
So in this area, did you just like, what were your parents like? I'm not saying were they political, apolitical? Were they leaning a certain way? How did they see the
jump
world?
in cannonball to the deep
Yeah,
end.
let's do it.
Go.
Yeah, let's go. How were they? What were they like?
Super blue collar. My mom was born and raised in LA. My dad's from the Midwest, moved out to California. They met at college group at church back in the day, back when it was like youth group but college kids. I don't know that my dad's reasons were completely altruistic. I think he was just trying to meet ladies, but my parents met and I, like I said, born in Portland. My dad was traveling a little bit doing construction back in the day, but grew up since I was like old in Ventura County, California. For blue collar, back when you could raise a family on one paycheck. My dad got up early in the morning, drove to LA, did fit pipe all day, would come back in the afternoons. My mom was a stay-at-home mom. I was actually homeschooled. I'm the oldest of four. So I was homeschooled early on up until fourth grade. Fourth grade, our church started a school. So they put me in school at church. I didn't really like that. I went back home for fifth grade and then went back to the church for middle school. So 6th, 7th, and 8th in middle school. And my first day in public school was Ventura High School, 2,400 students or so. And 1993, it was intense, to say the least. I mean, literally the first week at school, I had a box of Bibles and I was handing out Bibles because I thought they were all going to hell. I was raised like I was really in a non-denominational church. I was really into it growing up, and it's no disrespect. You're muted.
Faith is a beautiful thing, right?
There you go.
That's what's great about it.
Well, here's what I was going to say.
It doesn't have non-denominational, it's as long as you have, you have that connection yourself.
This is where Amity's going to slap me. But for me, when I got to high school, I really, my eyes kind of really opened to the world, I guess, so to speak. And growing up where I grew up, very much Southern California culture. I was adjacent to a lot of things. We can get into it later for that, but
there's a lot more gray when it's no longer black and white. Let's put it that way, right? Like you come out of that and you're like, you have this vacuum black and white view of the world, right, wrong, many layers. I determined that, at least back then, that and again, this is an episode in itself, but I just determined that Christianity in the biblical sense, the story of Christ, the way the Bible tells it, it's not for me. It's not my thing. I do not begrudge anyone who disagrees, who believes that way. My parents both are strong believers. Both my brothers are. My sister not so much, but her and I don't really talk a whole lot. But I went through the phase, that every 20-something does when you're not in church. I went through the atheist phase, and I don't consider myself, like, I was a Sam Harris atheist back in the day, like the Sam Harris, school. But or Horseman of the Apocalypse, my friend. That was one of the best podcast series when Hitchens destroyed William Lane Craig David, whatever his name is, every time. And then I actually helped prep Jeff Hester destroy William Lane Craig. And then Dinesh D'Souza with his GD intelligent design and all this other stuff. Like, I'm with you. And then once again, Harris, let's be clear. I think you and I would agree. Harris broke. Something broke Harris.
Oh, no,
he just went
he went
Actually, some
complete.
broke all of them except for Dennett. Dennett seemed the only one who didn't break before he died.
Well, Hitchens saved himself by getting cancer and checking out, because otherwise, I mean,
He did, but
his
remember, he
legacy
did
is still
support
up there.
Iraq.
Yeah,
He did
no,
support Iraq. So
yeah,
I won't hold. I'll only hold that against him, but I won't, because he did say you guys are going to be there anyway, so we might as well go whole hog. If you're going to be imperialistic, just be, you know what I mean? Like he did it more in, in that vein than anything.
Yeah, I'm with Brent. COVID broke Sam Harris for sure.
100%.
And I mean,
100%.
it broke a lot of people. Jordan Peterson too, I think.
But listen, look, Jake, if you talk in a very measured, calm way,
yeah,
and you say very slow
people...
things, and if your pigment gets a little darker and you call yourself Coleman, and then you call your last name Hughes, and you replace the Sam Harris with a little more measured and a little more research, then possibly you might get to be able to defend a genocide. You just might.
Maybe, hey, we can all strive for something, right?
It is crazy how, like, Peterson, Harris, they sounded like freaking like absolute angels from on high compared to the retard, stupid fucking left that was coming out, right?
Yeah.
And now they're being exposed as retards themselves. It's so weird to me, man. It is crazy how some issue will break everyone at some point. It just seems to be the case.
Well, don't set the bar too high.
No, anyway, man. So,
yeah. For me, the young 20-something atheism, that becomes its own religion also. And so I quickly realized, like, that becomes its own kind of ideology, and it's kind of just a replacement. So I've evolved even from that. And I will say I don't know what there is. I don't think it is as neat and tidy as the Bible explains. I think there's more to it. I think there's other, for lack of a better word, energy things that we can't see, we can't feel, that are part of what we interact with, and we don't know it. People are going to say, well,
and some people, some can.
I get it, but it's not for me in that regard. But I have plenty of people in my family that are of the faith, so to speak, and I have nothing but respect for them. But to back to your question, I was raised super Republican. I mean, Reagan family. My parents are both Reagan fans. I grew up in the 80s and 90s in Southern California, and I was a liberal for a lot of years. And it was, looking at it now, I can be honest with myself and realize that it was a good way to rebel against my parents. And my parents were, Republican Christian. And I was like, well, this is, I want to do the opposite of that, because that's normal.
By the way, that's the youth movement, that young movement that's up and coming, that young conservative movement is the pushback to the millennial, parents.
For sure.
It's that pendulum. That pendulum just keeps doing this all day, every
100%.
generation, right? And before we continue, if I may, Jake, only because once again, it is everybody watching us. We've got 200 people on X. We've got a ton of people in the chat. Zach's in the house. Zach wants to share a couple things. If you don't mind reading, I'll put them up. You read them, because you're going to shoot me down in a second. So go ahead.
You're talking about AI molded to good use as a savior for humanity, if only we learn to nurture it and treat it like our child. I mean, there's a lot there. That's a lot.
Yeah, we're just going to read these off, but this is the best one. I had to.
Don't be afraid to force Mark to shut up. It's going to be a competition, because I'll just keep going too, like I said. Especially
we'll talk over each other, but that's the beauty of it. Oh, that's the beauty of editing, man. It'll act like we're just smooth as heck. I'm trying to go through some of these. We got a people. Let's see. Use print screen. Somebody's using print screen. All right, let's see. Sorry, spelled. Zach, did you mute yourself? What do we do here? All right. Here you go. Let's do that.
May I recommend, Jake, that sacred scripture is meant to be read more meditatively? I mean, okay, to each their own. That's fine. That's cool.
Yeah. No, he's cool. So I will tell you exactly. Like I said, I was raised Lutheran. So we were churchy, but not churchy. You know what I mean? Like, we had a faith. We were German. So it's like every German pretty much was Lutheran. I don't really know any non-Lutheran German for some reason.
Interesting.
But that might have been regional or something, but like, because it was like a type of Christianity without anything. But anyway, so I I grew up with that. And then I remember being in one of the Sunday schools and they had a video that was made in like the 70s, late 70s, early 80s. I'm what, 8 years old? It's like 82, 83, something like that. And they're showing the rapture and they're showing everybody getting the barcode and freaking guillotining everybody.
I think
And
I
I'm
saw
like
that.
8 years old.
I think I saw that too.
Yeah, we all got that one. We
Yeah.
got everybody in chat, any Gen Xer got the rapture guillotine barcode treatment.
Yeah.
Everybody got that Sunday school, and it was on that flippity film thing, the projector, the took a thing on the reel. I just remember that so vividly. I remember running home because the church had just happened to be down the street from the end of our house. It's not like we planned that; it just was. But holy mackerel! I remember running home screaming like everybody's going to die. We're all going to die. I'm going to lose 3 of you because 2/3 of us are going to heaven, right? Or 1/3 of us, all that shit, right?
Oh yeah.
So I remember that. But then like it wasn't I didn't believe. I also like to sing. So when I went to my aunt had a farm in Western Pennsylvania, they're God folk because they're dairy farmers, right?
Oh,
so they're
yeah.
God folk. They have adopted kids, and I would sing with my with my cousin. She and I would sing in the church choir stuff together because we had beautiful voices together. So
Godfolk would be a really cool like acoustic gospel band name. Godfolk.
Actually, that is a good name. Should we do it?
Just wanted to throw it out there. I mean, I know.
How about we'll call it God Unsmacked.
There you go. God slap.
God gently brushed.
That's where I learned music. I mean, my grandmother was a piano player, and that was the first thing I learned. But when I picked up the drums, I was 9, and I used to play in the church. Our church had 3 services on Sunday morning: the early service, the kind of normal whatever, and then the third service was like the band. They got everybody plugged in instruments, and it was more of a I don't want to say sing along, but it was more interactive. And I used to play in church, and that's where I really kind of got my chop musically was playing there. And I have amazing memories of it, and I'm very fond of my experience. I have nothing, I was never touched by a pastor or nothing like that. It just is not for me when it came down to it later on. So I'm always, here's one thing about me too, is I am always open to learning new things, changing my mind with new information. Not to be preachy, but I really think that is one of the keys to being a human being and to continue to excel in this life is to surround yourself with people who are going to teach you things, learn as much as you can. Don't be afraid to change your mind with new information. And I'm always open to the discussion with anybody who wants to talk. I just love discussing things, if you couldn't tell, but anybody who ever wants to talk religion, politics, flavors of Tootsie Pops, like I'm down. We'll talk about whatever. But that was definitely my experience until I went really hard in the I think I'm going to be a rock star thing. I worked really hard at it for a lot of years. I thought for a minute that it was going to be the path, and I was a pretty hardcore liberal just being in that kind of environment or that bubble. And in Southern California, it very much is, that bubble. And I definitely grew out of that too. I'm staunchly independent libertarian. I'm not a conservative either. But I really didn't pay attention to politics growing up. I didn't.
You're a rocker, man. What are you talking about?
I had a good childhood. I didn't have like a lot of trauma. I wasn't really ever seeking for stuff. I kind of took the news as it's silly to say now, but I'd watch the news and be like, okay, well, that's what happened. Like, they're not lying to you. That's what, and all the channels are saying the same thing. So that's the truth. And I just kind of took it at face value. And I remember watching the first Desert Storm, the first like televised war. I remember watching that like on the floor, in my parents' house. Like, oh my God, I can't,
real quick. Who's the general? Give me the general's name.
Oh,
it's like, come on. I don't want to put you in the spot, but it's like,
no, it's on the tip of my tongue, but I'm not going to get it.
It's just like, as soon as I hear it, Schwarzkopf. Remember Schwarzkopf?
Oh, yeah.
I just remember General Schwarzkopf. It's like,
Yep.
It's like one of those weird things, right? That was like Desert Storm, Desert Shield, and Kuwait was obviously 90. And I'm a little older than you, like 5 years. So I was the year that Kuwait happened was the year that I started driving. So the
Okay.
gas prices went up by 50% from $1 to $1.50 pretty much. And
What was that,
as a
90,
kid, dude, that
90
killed
or
us.
91?
91. Yeah, 91. Yeah.
Yeah, so I was like
So anyway,
12, yeah, 12,
yeah,
13.
just you were about 5 years apart, 4 or 5 years apart. Anyway,
But
go
then
ahead. So
then I just
you had the first televised war. Yeah.
I started paying attention to those things more, I guess, the older I got. And then I started questioning a lot more things. And then, you have a family and you start questioning more things. You have a business and you're paying taxes and you're wondering what these taxes are going for. And, a lot, just the natural kind of progression of, I hate to use the W word, but like paying attention to what's going on around you and kind of coming into your own enlightenment, whatever you want to call it. And I looked into like Iran Contra back in the Reagan days, and that was kind of the beginning of my like, oh shit, there is a whole bunch of crazy shit going on here. And then growing up where I grew up, like I was really into punk rock. Like I was a skater, super into punk music and all the Dead Kennedys, all the old stuff where they were all talking about the anti-government stuff. It was always there in the background, and then I never kind of until I hit my 30s and 40s and was like, I was listening to that stuff today. I was listening to 7 Seconds and Minor Threat. And I kind of went back. It was like, this has always been there. And it's always been kind of part of who I am, but I paid a lot more attention to it after having kids. But I've lived a lot of life, and I don't say that in any kind of just, casual way, but I've got a 22-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 9-month-old. So I've got the whole spectrum of kids, and I've done a lot of things, and I've arrived at this place now where I've become very staunchly don't hurt people, don't take their stuff, and that's where it ends for me. Like I'm very much, I'm not going to get on the thing and say I'm the biggest patriot and this and that. I'm beyond the nationalism part of things. I'm flirting with the anarcho cap stuff a little bit with some of how I feel. But the beauty for me is being open to like learning new stuff and exploring new things. Like there's some stuff about anarchy that I think is 100% spot on. And casual people would think anarchy is like, riots in the streets, and I'm realizing what it truly is. Like there's a lot of that's appealing to me, but there's some of it that isn't too. And I'm cool like learning and having people tell me why they think I might be wrong, or what something I haven't thought about or whatever. And I know I'm drifting all over the road here, but that's really kind of how I've arrived at where I'm at.
Yeah, well, this show's called Tangents. I mean, it's like it should have been called Tangents from the start. That's how this goes, because these conversations don't answer questions. They're just doorways to more questions,
More
right?
questions, yeah.
Like that's like so. Just to give you a little bit of the attitude of this show, man, we're Aristotelian, all right? It is the mark of an educated man to entertain an idea without adopting it. That's what we're doing.
Oh,
We're taking something off the shelf. We're taking this clay, hey, UFOs. All right, we're taking this off. We're gonna play with it. Okay, cool. We'll put it back up on the shelf and we're done. We're good. Like we move on. That's how it works. Some stuff sticks, sometimes works, and sometimes just mental gymnastics for us.
I think there's a lot in the UFO or UAP stuff to really dive into too. Not to get too
no, not
woo-woo
today or
anything,
anything, but yeah,
but yeah,
we'll do more.
I'm in with some of that stuff for sure. I mean, and again, into the sense of like, I'm not going to say I have an answer to anything, but some of it seems plausible. I'll just put it that way.
I can tell you off the record, with everybody
Nobody's
not listening,
okay.
not a single person. Lou Elizondo, he's not what everyone thinks he is.
Oh yeah,
I know that. I literally know that firsthand. Like
I wanted to,
from a
I remember you
direct
saying
person.
something about that before, and I want to offline whatever. I want to pick more at that because he was one of the first guys I started kind of paying attention to, and then I went, wait a minute.
And I like
playing.
Corbell, and mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You're
here to steer the
Lou's
conversation.
a little Bongino Cash Patelli, isn't he?
Yeah, a little bit.
Yeah. So anyway, that's just one of them. So what's interesting is, on a totally separate note, I actually have a buddy I have a lot of, I went to Embry-Riddle Aeronautical University. So I don't know if anybody knows that. Like, okay, so I was a fat fuck growing up. Not growing up, but after I had a car accident, then I became a fat fuck. And then I'm not a fat fuck anymore. But during the fat fuck stage, I was only 5'8" and like 240, but I was like flying planes. I actually am a pilot, everybody. I'm a multi-commercial instrument rated pilot, if you could believe that.
No
That
shit.
is no joke. Yeah, I've got 300 hours. Now, I haven't flown since 98. So don't get in a plane with me.
Yeah, but I mean, you're the guy where they're like, you're on the plane, like, do we have a pilot on board who can land this thing? I would at least point to you.
I'd be okay with that. Yeah, if you get me, I'd feel confident following, you know,
You're gonna do better than I am. I went to like 2 days of flight school in a Cessna, and I was like, this is cool, but there's too much math to learn. I don't want to do this.
So the biggest thing I've ever flown, literally, physically, literally, figuratively, was a 727 simulator, full motion simulator. Okay, we had to do, like, I did 30 hours, 10 hours as a pilot in command, 10 hours as second in command, and 10 hours of flight engineer. Back in the day, you had to have 3 people in the cockpit. It was really weird, right? So check, and I've got a funny story about that in the 70s. So anyway, the 727 was the one with the 3 engines in the back. You know what I mean? The one that just like has the like a real old, it's one of the older Boeing engines. Anyway, so you're on final. The whole thing took a whole warehouse to fill. That's how big it was. The computer, all the cooling took like an entire airport hangar just for like the equipment, just so you could do it. And what they would do is they do emergencies, and you'd have like, you know, how many pounds per hour thrust. And it was the coolest experience I ever had. It was really fun. But
how come you
that's the biggest thing I ever flew. So when after flying, I came home to Philadelphia. I was in Arizona, so I was in the Prescott campus, not the Daytona Beach, everybody down there. But and if you see something in the comments, Jake, tell me to pull it up, because I, like you, I just not like you, like you admit I talk a lot too.
I'm asking a question that Zach put up about why have you never fulfilled your flight dream, but I wanted to get back to Zach's other thing here about the ancient astronaut theory, but I want to let you keep going on the flight thing first. So do your thing.
Oh, so after flying, you go back. You know, I went back home. So I lived at home to save up money. So I'd work Pizza Hut during the week, delivery. I would do it all day. So I was like the only driver. So I'd, like, you know, maximize all the money or whatever. And then on the weekends, I would sit by the phone or sit at the airport waiting for somebody to walk in or call to schedule a sightseeing flight, like a flight tour around Philadelphia.
Yeah. Okay.
So what you do is you just go up for 30 minutes. You just take off, go around for 30 minutes. Now, the pay was $8 an hour.
Okay.
And the time that you got to like clock in was the engine time.
Oh shit.
So
no,
all the pre-flight, and don't get me wrong, I went to Embry-Riddle. That place is you want to be a pilot. I have so many friends that are fraternity brothers, other friends that went there. They're all commercial pilots. They're amazing people. They're awesome. Navy pilots, commercial pilots, air refuelers, everybody. They're all my good friends that from that school. So the school's amazing. But the pre-flight, we're thorough, man. We're checking every bolt, every rivet. You know what I mean? It takes.
Yeah, how do you not get paid for that?
Right. Because you don't have to. So that's how they get you, right? So just think about this. They take the most inexperienced people, pay them the least amount of money to teach, or the second tier to teach the least experienced people, so they can build the hours to go up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? To like level up.
It's
like backwards. It just sounds backwards, right?
The little bit of flight school I did, I noticed that's kind of what the procedure is. And I get it. Their margins are probably like super tight, that, you know, they're not making a ton of money doing. I get it. But you're not.
And I had buddies
people.
Right. And I had buddies that got hit with 9/11. Remember 2011, we graduated in 97. So those guys are right about hitting, you know, about to enter the flight, you know, when everything changes, you know. So
yeah,
that was tough for a lot of those guys. I remember when they shut it down for a bit and everything. So anyway, so I was going home, I was getting whatever. I would wash their airplanes. So they told us they pay us $75 for every plane you wash or something. So you basically fill out a time card. Well, a couple months go by and you don't really think about it. You know what I mean? Like, where's my money? Because like I'm working this other thing. I'm living at home. Like,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? I'm not thinking much about it. And the next week they go, okay, we're going to ferry these planes. We're selling them off. We're selling them off and getting a whole new fleet of planes. I'm like, oh, cool. So I was the least experienced. So I got to draw short straw. Whoa. Did I do that? I think I just lost Jake. I think he misclicked. I'm gonna hold off on that. Where are we at? Let's see. Let's get him. You all right, man?
Page dropped out. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, cool. So so I draw short straw, and they're one of the planes. If you've seen a propeller plane, you know the parts on it. There's this thing called a nose cone, and basically it's just a sheath that's a plastic cone that fits over the voltage and everything of the propeller, right? Just for airstream reasons, right? Real simple. Well, one of them was cracked up the side of it, along it, and they're like, "We'll just tape it up. You'll be fine." Like, all right. Like, remember, people think about when you start your career and what you won't do just for every bit to try to improve yourself, to learn, to get better. You will take every shit. Like this is something, unfortunately, I don't think everybody's wired this way.
Rich says, then those guys go work at Spirit Airlines.
So, okay. So they tape it along and they tape around it with 100-mile-an-hour tape.
Yeah.
And I just want to say, I'm going to call out the plane. The plane was a Tampico TP9. You guys look up that motherfucker, okay? The Tampico, TAMPICO TP-9. This fucking thing needed flaps to take off, and it was a fucking single-engine aircraft, a propeller. It needed flaps to take off. That's how much of a piece of shit this fucking thing was.
I'm looking at it.
It's a low-wing aircraft.
Yeah.
Right? It's a low-wing aircraft. I should look it up, put it up on the screen, but everybody look it up. It's not a big deal. Anyway, so I'm flying. Now, this is February in the East Coast. I'm in Philadelphia. We're flying the planes to West Virginia. So we're going over the Smokies, right? We're going over that whole area, the Smoky Mountains area. Like, that's that whole area. Well, I've got like a pullover sweater is all I have with me. And I'm not really thinking about this, right? So we're following each other. There's three of us in a row. First guy takes off, we're like, miles apart, but we're just kind of going the same direction, right?
Yeah, you're not like top gunning like on top of the other.
Yeah, we're not in formation like Blue Angels and shit. That'd be great. So I'm flying along, and as I'm flying, the yoke starts getting more and more vibrational. And I'm like, that doesn't feel right. Something's not right. So I kind of pull a little bit back on the engine and it goes away a little bit, right? Slowly increase again, comes back. I'm like, what the hell? And I'm like looking around, and it's just snow dusted mountains below me.
Yeah.
And I'm like, the one thing I learn is it's best to learn under power, it's best to land under power than it would be to like lose your engine completely and have no fucking choice, if you know what I mean.
Glide it in.
Yeah, so because these things are rocks. Like the Boeing, the big jets, they actually have seriously good aerodynamics. These other ones are more Newtonian than anything. You know what I mean? It's like more Newtonian. It's a fucking kite. It's a powered kite. Let's not kid ourselves.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So the vibration again, I start scrambling. I'm looking around going, do I have to put this down? What the hell is going on? And once again, if you look at that plane, it's a fixed landing gear. The gear doesn't come out. It's just got these legs. It's like sticking out the bottom. All of a sudden, I hear kink. I'm like, what the fuck? I heard just like it. Yeah. So the vibration went away.
Hey, that's a plus.
And I'm like, but I know that it hit the gear. Like I know it hit the landing gear because it dinked off it somehow.
Yeah.
I mean, but once again, what if it had gone through the windscreen? That's, 50-50 chance, right? Like who knows, whatever. Maybe the aerodynamics wouldn't allow it, but you have no idea, right? So I land the plane, and it turns out a chunk, like a V-shaped chunk of the nose cone was just gone. and you could just see all the rivets underneath or everything. Like, huh, I guess you made it. Great.
They should have used 200-mile tape.
Yeah. Yeah, no kidding, right? So I don't know how I got there, but I got there. Now, this is where it gets creepy, and then I've got another story after that. I'm sorry. I want let's do the ancient alien question first. Where's that? Let's do that. Let's stop. Let's put a pin in this thing. That's my first thing that I had was like, what the fuck happened? I just started flying and a piece of plane broke off. This is not good for me.
I mean, that would be enough to make me reconsider doing that job too.
Yeah, it gets worse.
Or at least
Or
for
I mean
that,
better. I don't know.
that company.
Yeah.
No,
well,
okay.
Well, yeah, I haven't even talked about that yet, but we'll get there.
Zach, here's the best way that I can explain my thoughts on this is there are a lot of parallels with things like the ancient astronaut theory, simulation theory, multiverse. There's a lot of those things that have parallels with biblical stories or with biblical, the canonical biblical structure, whatever you want to call it. So what I'm not saying is that whatever the accounts are in the Bible or whatever was written down is garbage and throwing out the baby with the bathwater, so to speak. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is, for me and from the experiences that I've had, the Bible is too neat and tidy with it doesn't leave room. Okay, let me phrase it better. The church I grew up in and the non-denominational practice, whatever you want to call it, was that the Bible is the word of God and the Bible is infallible. So that doesn't really leave a lot of room, in my opinion, to interpret things. If the Bible is infallible, the Bible is the word of God, then that is supposed to be what it is. You're supposed to read it, preferably like Wes Huff in the original language without all the translations, and take it literally. I mean, if it truly is the word of God, then it's infallible. That's what you're supposed to do. For me, there's too much variation, again, to Zach's point, with the ancient astronaut stuff or the multiverse stuff, or there's a lot where I guess it kind of weaves together. And I think what I'm getting at is the traditional story of Christianity is, in my opinion, a version of trying to tell a bigger story. And that's why I don't discount it. I don't say that it's without value. It's the Genesis to Revelation. This is the story of everything. To me, just doesn't pass muster. And I think that, like everything, there's a lot of truth in the middle. There's a lot of truth in a lot of different things. There's no set, I guess physics for the most part are, but we can get into simulation and speed of light and some of that stuff too. So I guess that's the best way I can explain it for now, Zach, is that I think those things tie together. And I think there are parts of, look, I mean, if I'm going to be really, I guess, crude and try and summarize it, what I think the Bible is I think it is people who were extremely primitive X amount of thousands of years ago, trying to make sense of something that is almost impossible to make sense of, and trying to put that down in a way that can be passed on. And I think through the translations, through, I'll use the old game of telephone, which is not a new analogy, but it's like when you pass something on, when you translate it this many times, when you pick and choose, well, this stays in the Bible, this doesn't stay in the Bible, and here's the canonical version. I mean, I'm reading the book of Enoch, and that a lot of that stuff with the seraphim and
Yeah. Okay. Hold on. Remember how I'm psychic?
Yeah.
I was just gonna unmute and go Book of Enoch. I literally was gonna do that. That popped in my head, dude.
That's where I'm at.
It's like I knew you're gonna say that right there. So it's like right there. I knew it. So just FYI, that's how I do it. That's how it happens.
No, do your thing. But I think again, to Zach's point is I don't, this is going to sound like I'm being shitty, and I'm really not being shitty. It's either for me, it's either the Bible is the word of God, or the Bible is inspired or written by men who were inspired by God. It can't be both to me. It's one or the other. And maybe that's my logical brain, but I think that using this was inspired by, it's like a movie. It's like based on a true story, and then they take wild liberties and it's nothing like the original story. That's how I kind of equate it. And I'm oversimplifying here, but I'm down to discuss this at length with Zach on the side, or whatever. But that's my
do this.
general.
Hey, let's do this.
General
Let's do this. We've got this extra league of ordinary friends that we have. It's a group. It's a panel group. We got religion. This is a perfect thing to talk about. The extra league of ordinary friends would be a panel show for this. I've got thoughts, you've got thoughts, we all have thoughts, and I appreciate you sharing that. No one's your thoughts are not discouraging on anyone else's thoughts on theirs, right? Like nothing you're saying is to discourage them. It's like Zach, I love Zach's faith. Zach, I do want to talk about OCD and rituals regarding religion. If there's been an interesting thing about that.
I mean, I've done DMT a few
too.
times, and that to me, there's a connection there too. And I think that, again,
if you saw what I saw, if you experienced what I've experienced, and I would hope you've seen a little bit of me and how lucid I am. If I'll share some of it, but like, I can't explain some of the things that I know I've seen before, that I know that I've done, that I've talked about. And it's like, it's creepy, man.
Here's my life. I'll put a pin in it with this for now.
Yeah.
DMT for me is, there's a connection to something that's larger. Okay. And I think that's the overall theme of what we're kind of talking about here. The connection to something that's bigger. I'm going to say, I think that a God, a higher power, a universal energy, whatever you want to call it, I think it's super narcissistic of human beings to attach a human characteristic to God or human personality to
right?
God.
Remember how Galileo got, that everything revolved around the earth.
And I don't mean narcissistic as a pejorative. I mean narcissistic as almost like it's human nature to attach.
Yeah, solipsistic, right? It's solipsistic. It's self. Like it's us out.
Correct.
Yeah.
And so it's not a knock, but to me, when you talk about a vengeful God or a jealous God, or like, those are all human characteristics. And someone's going to say, well, we're made in his image. I get it. But to me, it's just a natural thing. And I'm no psychologist, but it seems like a natural thing to attach ourselves to that thing, whatever that power or energy, whether it's an ancient astronaut that came here and fucked a couple monkeys and here we are. I mean, whatever that version is, to attach that and put a human personality to it, to me, it's just, there's more to it than that. And that's where I think that religion kind of stops, is there's a lot of attachment to that human characteristic with God. And even I don't know much about Catholicism and the differences, but a lot of the saints and a lot of that just seems more tradition to me than it seems like an answer, I guess, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, in that vein, first of all, Jake, it's already been an hour 18 in your first soiree into this If by Whiskey collaboration. Is it like a time warp? Are you blinking? Has it just been like quick or what? How you feeling, man? How you feeling an hour in?
No, this is great. Honestly, the only difference is I wish I would have hit the sauna earlier and I could have a whiskey right now, but I just don't want my heart to explode, so I can't do it.
Do not let your heart explode, man. Let's not have this happen on the first one. Look, we've got, first of all, there are over 250 people on X. Now, our friends that we know are on X, they've already subscribed on the Rumble channel. But,
and Zach,
what better gift though could you provide for us, for Jake, his first as the new co-host of If by Whiskey? What better gift than to log on to Rumble as you're still on X? Just open up a new tab, rumble.com, look up If by Whiskey, subscribe, join us, jump in that chat. Let that chat simmer, grow. Let that bubble and boil and all that good stuff. We'd love to have you over there. Fuck YouTube. Just FYI, I've already been marked twice because two things. Here's one. it was because of Jack Danger said that the Sandy Hook thing was a hoax. That's what he said. So I got a ding for that.
Oh,
And then
Rich,
they wanted to
Rich.
re-educate me, those sons of bitches. So anyway, please come to Rumble, subscribe, join. Jake, you're new. You're an hour in. Go ahead. Now the floor is yours, sir. Go ahead.
No, I'm reading the chat here, and I got to tell, I meant to say, like, Zach, I appreciate the back and forth and the comments. Like, again, I don't claim to have the answers. This is just how I personally feel. So, I got love for you too, just on the conversation part of it. Rich brought up something about Giorgio Tsoukalos, and that's the dude with the hair. I have another one of those Google Voice recordings with him. He was on the show back in the day too.
Do you think you can get, if you can get him?
I got to try and get him now.
I could probably blow his mind, dude.
I'm sure we could get him.
You're first of all, Jake, you're gonna get Joey Diaz and all those other. You're gonna get Corolla too, man. It's cool. Not with pressure. You're just gonna get them. It's gonna happen. You're gonna ask and they're gonna accept. That's how it's gonna work, man.
That's how I do things. I just
right. That's how we do it.
Pester.
Like I said, I mean, seriously, man. Okay, I don't know if anyone saw the podcast yesterday, but like I said, I would have absolutely liked to have had you on there had I not had this thing happen scheduled before. It was just one of these weird things. I didn't sleep for like 3 nights, man.
I agree, Zach. I agree.
I was so worked up that I was like, my girlfriend's like, you need to relax. You need to calm down. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to attack or be mean or be nice or whatever. And I like the guy. I immediately like the guy. And I'm like, you're right there with me. So I have to share this story with everybody because everybody's on here. My mom. But
then I want to go back to the YouTube thing, but go ahead.
Yes, we'll go back to the YouTube thing. But I share this with my mom. And my mom apparently watched it today. She calls me, and I've done, like I said, over 200 podcasts and a lot of stuff. She calls me. She goes, "That's the best podcast that you have ever done."
She said really in the Sam Harris voice.
Yeah, no, I'm trying to be calm about it because I hated what she said, but I love her. You know how, yeah. So she goes, "That's the best podcast that you have ever done." I really liked what he had to say. So everyone can laugh now because, yeah, I'm just like, oh, yeah, I guess it was a best podcast I ever done, Mom. Thanks. I love you, Mom. I love you. I will still be loving you. Oh, by the way, that song I shared with you, I don't know if you heard it, but the background is me crying and my girlfriend whispering, "You need an anxiety pill," because I was so worked up. The whole place was like crying, like literally, it was like bawling. It was crazy. It was unbelievable.
Yeah.
Go ahead, read that. Go ahead.
When your mom likes your podcast, you know you made it. I mean, even if it is like the compliment, the insult on the back of the compliment. Yeah, see that, Zach. That's what it's all about. Enjoy using reason and faith to decipher what's objective truth. I could not agree with you more. And like I said, the discourse is what I really thrive on, and the exchanging of ideas and the marketplace of ideas to use other people's terms. But go back to YouTube. I know you've got stuff against YouTube. I think, and I got nothing against Rumble, but I don't know much about it other than that's where what's his name? Rusty Skates or whatever.
Rusty Rockets?
Yeah,
Russell
Rockets.
Brand.
Yeah,
Russell Brand. Yeah.
I couldn't remember his handle. I knew it was Russell Brand.
No, it is. It's a weird one. Yeah, Rusty Rockets is his name.
Katy
Yeah,
Perry's ex-husband.
Yeah, no, I know exactly what you mean. The Rusty Rockets was always a weird one when he said that.
But for me, like that's kind of how I thought of, like, or Steven Crowder's show, the Rumble thing. So I don't know much about it, but I am. Zach has a new ism every other week. It's
out of love, Zach. You know it.
I think YouTube, as far as like getting people, everybody has a YouTube account because everybody has Gmail. So I mean, it seems like unless they completely wronged you, why would we not want to use YouTube to grow the show?
Jake, you don't have to call me out in front of our whole audience here. Dude, I was just fucking kidding, dude. But I'll give you my passcode. You can take the fucking test. Would you like to know the first question?
The test.
The first question, yeah. In order for me to remove my strike, and it's not going to be removed for 90 days. I'm in a cautionary. I have to take the test, and I'm on strike for 90 days for both of my channels. Okay. The first question: someone goes on YouTube and claims that the Holocaust didn't kill 6 million Jews. Is that is that allowed on the platform? Yes or no? That's the first fucking question I get to answer. And I say, go fuck yourselves, YouTube. That's what I say. Now, I know I'm already nothing, Jake, but guess what? If we become anti-fragile without YouTube, if we can do it without YouTube, we don't fucking need YouTube. And I love you, and I'm gonna work with you. I'm just going on a rant,
dude,
but I
go.
love you.
Just go. You keep cooking.
No, we're good. We're good. That's it. I just about go. We will work on it. I'll show you and first of all, like I said, we are co-hosts, man. This is happening. This was supposed to happen. I know what's going on. This is just supposed to happen. So we're gonna collaborate. We're gonna get all the logins and all that stuff. So you're gonna have control of whatever you want on the you're gonna definitely have the If by Whiskey channel. The not conscious one, maybe I'll just let it atrophy because my 153 subscribers, they might just have to wither and die off the vine, I guess, considering I have as many on Rumble, and Rumble
is your mom, right? Is your mom one of them?
No.
Well, I mean,
but
come on, Mom.
No, I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to say it, man. I'm not going to.
Well, so what's the answer to that question for the test? I mean, I know you're supposed to answer no, but I mean, I get, but see, that's the thing is YouTube's not a free speech platform. YouTube is a play by the rules platform. So let me ask you this. Right. So the strike, is it strike we're going to pull your channel down, or is it strike you can't be monetized?
Yeah. Well, first of all, I need more than 153 subscribers to get monetized, Jake.
Well, you know what I mean.
And the If by and no, I know, I'm just kidding. And the If by Whiskey channel, just so you know, has 8 subscribers, man. So welcome aboard. Good luck. We have a lot of work ahead of us. But the good news is we got you and me, and we're going to make this happen. So we've got great ideas, great guests coming up. We got so many awesome things. I'm actually logging into my YouTube studio right now just to read the warning, the strike that I have. Okay. Important notifications. First of all, they put it up. So what happened was that Jack Danger, everyone knows Jack Danger, good friend of the show, Jack Danger. He said the Sandy Hook thing was an HOAX. Okay. So who am I to say anything or not? Okay. Yeah, whatever. We moved on. I didn't agree or disagree that, whatever. I get If by Whiskey gets a strike, and I'm like, that's weird. They're only striking If by Whiskey, but not the Not Conscious channel. And then I got one. So here it is.
Jason's got a good point here. Why not just start a fresh channel?
Ooh. We have If by Whiskey though, don't we?
I don't know. Do you? I'm new here, but I'm just thinking. I mean, maybe.
So here it is. Ready? Take a look at your content and our policies. Hate speech policy. Content that denies or minimizes a well-documented major violent event or the victimhood of such an event isn't allowed on YouTube. What about COVID, motherfuckers? Yeah. You killed everybody on COVID. That was a murderous event. All right. Anyway, sorry. Once again, we're already on strike land, so I'm not too worried about it, Jake.
Well, that's going to be a hard thing. I mean, if it's a moving target and you don't know what you can and can't say, I get it. That's a
so
hard
here
thing to comply with.
We review educational, documentary, artistic, and scientific content on a case-by-case basis. Limited exceptions are made for content with sufficient and appropriate content. Now, what the appeal process is? Would you like to? Hey, anybody who didn't get a strike on YouTube, these are the geniuses that work at YouTube. You get to click appeal. You don't get to type in, I have a podcast that's political, and a gentleman I've never met before, I decided to get to know, and he said this, and I let him say it because I don't have a dog in that hunt or whatever. I just click appeal, and then you just get rejected. That's literally how it works. Everybody.
I mean, he has danger in his name, so
no, it's Donger. Didn't you know? like Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Anyway, so yeah, I digress, everybody.
Well, I mean, it wouldn't hurt to try. I mean, if they let you back in, I was curious if it was if you get more strikes, they're literally going to pull the channel off YouTube. Or if it was just like, hey, if you do get up to 9 or 10 subscribers, then you can't monetize.
Yeah, well, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to actually take the quiz, and I'll give you the one so you can take the one from the If by Whiskey. We'll take it together. Maybe we'll do it like samesies, and we can mock it. We can screenshot it, and then we can put each question up on X and be like, hey, these are the questions that they ask you.
Hey, that sounds like a good
that's what I'd like to do.
way to get through it.
Right? That's a good, right? That's that. So is that sound have we come to an agreement, sir? Does that sound something we can work together with?
Get the gavel.
All right, let's do it. All right.
New
It's been
business.
decided, decreed.
New business.
Decreed, new business. So, man, welcome. So everybody in the chat, we're an hour and a half in. Jake is a co-host. What's everybody thinking, man? Everybody? Come on.
Richard says
bring it
we
up.
should just start a new channel with Whisky Smiles and If by Whiskey and call it Whiskey Double. And then
Why
Zach
don't we call it If
agreed.
by Whisky Smiles?
I mean, we can add
that
the
works
E
for
in.
me. Yeah, you know what? Let's open 2 fucking channels. How about that?
Well, you can't do that because then you're gonna get more than one.
Oh, we'll split it up.
We don't. We want to keep all the subscribers in one spot.
In our defense, If by Whiskey is a very new collaboration. Unfortunately, Jason fell in love with his wife. He decided to like make a family and stuff.
Is
So,
this his first kid?
His first, yes. His first, 100%.
There is nothing. Well, again, speaking for myself,
And a
there's
girl,
nothing-
dude. And a girl. He's so fucked.
I'm
He's
a girl
so
dad.
fucked. I
All
love
3
it.
of mine are girls.
Oh, what did he say? What was why not 3? I don't even
Why
know
not
which one
3?
he was. Oh, 3 channels. Jason, we're putting you to work, man. By the way, anybody who's anybody, go to Drop the Mask. Jason had created our intro and he created our outro. Now, without any prompts, Jason has stepped away because he's having a family, but he is still in the If by Whiskey family. But what he did, completely unsolicited, was create an entire intro and removed all the stuff that was like not correct, considering Jake was joining and everything, and he made it awesome. So please, if you could, go to Drop the Mask on Rumble as well.
It's a hell of an
And
intro.
just
It's really great.
the astronaut playing the piano got me, and the beauty, like it's such a vibe, and he got the ice cubes, the swirl, all of it. And look, this was unsolicited because we're all like friends here. We're all trying to we're doing this for like the Voices of Liberty and stuff. So
Well, Zach and
welcome.
Jason
Thank you for
both
being
say
part
that
of the journey,
having a wife is gay. Apparently, that's what they say.
man. Hey, have you grown your beard yet? Anyway, so what do we got here? Double whiskey shots. What's this?
Whiskey shots, lots of options with using whiskey. I mean, that's true.
Yeah, definitely. And I'm wondering, does whiskey hurt us because it's alcohol and that hurts with the age thing? Because every If by Whiskey episode that I put up, listen to this. Every If by Whiskey episode that I put up on StreamYard, I have to go in and pay. It's not for kids. I have to actually manually click it.
Since when does
On
any barrier on the internet stop kids? It doesn't matter.
No. YouTube won't put whiskey up because alcohol. They won't they don't advertise alcohol. So I wonder if whiskey, the word, hurts the algorithm.
What if it's without
That's
the
all.
E?
Then it's international. Then it's terrorism. It's foreign domestic. It's foreign terrorism.
And we're cultured.
As long as we drink our scotch with a pinky extended, yes. So, all right, man. So you kind of rebelled against your parents a little bit and went liberal, and then you went atheist, whatever. So how did you get more from liberal to free, liberty?
Liberated?
Because there is a slight difference, right? I would argue.
The shortest thing is just paying attention. It's really funny. When I first moved to Seattle, I worked for a company, and the owner of the company said to me, he goes, yeah, you're a liberal now. He goes, but once you get older, once you actually make some money, then you'll be a Republican. And that always kind of stuck with me. Granted, I'm not a Republican, but I understood what he meant. And I never paid attention to it. I always, so when my my dad got out of construction. My parents opened a restaurant. Shout out to Andrew's dad. So I spent all my like, I started working when I was 12 years old, started getting a paycheck at 12 years old, working in the family restaurant. So I always had a way to make money. I always had, I had a great childhood. So I never really paid attention to politics too much until I had a family, until I started realizing like inflation and where's the value of the dollar going. And it was stuff that I had always kind of seen and just kind of let it go by. And then when I started connecting all the dots and started putting it together and started caring more about it, it kind of exponentially opened my eyes to a lot of it. And then, you know, my personality type is like, when I get into something, I get all the way into it. When I started collecting cars, I had too many cars. I've bunch of motorcycles. Like, I don't just do one thing.
What give me a couple cars.
Guitars on the wall. I don't just buy one guitar. I buy them all.
I heard cars. So
I said no, cars also. Yeah.
Yeah, because I got a 67 Bonneville.
Oh, very nice. But
yeah, and it's not that cool. But anyway, go ahead. No, finish your point. It was just cars.
I got really kind of all in on paying attention to where things are going and how the fudge is made, so to speak. And, you know, past the Schoolhouse Rock part of where a bill becomes a law into like really what's happening, who's being paid. And to be honest with you, I know I'm not the only one. I was one of many, but COVID is really what kind of like snapped me out of it. When I realized that there was an orchestrated narrative, that there was a message being controlled, there was an experimental gene therapy being pushed on people. Like, when I really kind of paid attention to that, then it was like, okay, it's like the Wizard of Oz. When you see the guy behind the curtain, it was like, as soon as I saw that, there's no going back. There's no like, okay, well, I'm going to go back and trust you again. Now it's like, what else have you been telling me that is bullshit? And then I realized it was basically everything, or everything that I had learned as a kid and growing up. There was another version.
At minimum, you're adding cores of wood to the pile. Like, it's not, it might not be everything, but it definitely keeps adding the more, the more we look.
And that's really what kind of got me to where I'm at now, and paying attention to libertarianism and kind of learning who Massey was. Not to, everybody name drops him, but learning kind of who he was, and then realizing that there is this kind of growing, and it is kind of a Gen X thing, but this growing faction of people who, and not in the like, I'm a patriot, deport them all kind. I don't mean it that way. In the like, I care about my country. I care about
really not like that.
My community within my country. I don't, I'm not a nationalist so much. I'm on YouTube.
Get on Rumble, man. We get credit for Rumble. Get us on Rumble, dude. We actually get a penny or two if you go on Rumble, by the way, just so you know. Anyway, I'm all about the community, looking out for your other people, and I'm very much about people pulling their own weight and having accountability. I've posted this a bunch of times, but my personal MAGA is make accountability great again. And I really truly think that if we had accountability in this country, and then just put my old man glasses on here for a second. If we had accountability in this country and we truly held people accountable across the board, regardless of who they are, I think that would solve 90% of the problems that we have. I'm gonna say something slightly controversial, I think.
Oh, why start now?
Humans have slowly given up accountability to government. They used to give it to God, but it's not like God took it away from them. It like the faith made themselves accountable to be to God. And then government, people who didn't go to God kind of went to this government thing. And now people are worshiping government similar to worshiping God.
Yeah.
In
fair.
like a religion. Right.
Yeah.
So what we're finding is the government is becoming our parent, just like, some people at the church, but at least with the church, regardless, I have issues with both, right? Because it's a hierarchical structure. We shouldn't really serve anyone. We're born free by birth, not by, it's just weird to me. Like, once you get to this point of breaking from like freedom, you're like, who are you serving? Everyone except for each other. You know what I mean? Like that's the community that is serving each other, not upward or something. Anyway, so the whole point of that is like, we see this break from a hierarchical structure. So they go to the government, and it's like the government, though, they claim they can take away your accountability.
Yeah.
No one can take away your accountability, people.
Well, they
You
kinda
all are in control of yourself here.
I think a lot of the problems we have is because they have taken away accountability.
Mm-hmm. Because they say they can, right? Free bus rides. Hey, we'll make everything. We'll give it to you, right?
I saw something today. I didn't look into how true it was, but something about this woman in California who she got her 16th DUI, and it's like, I mean, number one, give her a
What?
medal, but number two, like, don't ever let that bitch drive again. Like, how do you get to 16? Like, I get people make a mistake. There's nothing. I get it. We're human beings. One, okay. Two is like, hey, you do this again. By the time you get a third one, like, you don't drive anymore. You're riding the fucking bus.
I can imagine 40% of people first one, maybe even higher, maybe 60%, maybe if I'm generous. But if you get two, I could almost see like 90, like, you know what I mean? I could just see that north of 90 for like a second strike on your internal thing. You know what I mean? Like your internal moral compass wouldn't allow that, you know?
Yeah. Okay. So
let alone 16.
So cars. What do you want to know about cars?
Oh, what kind of cars are you into, or did you have over the years, or anything like that? Just curious.
I'm not a muscle car guy.
What are your favorites? Yeah.
I mean, I think they're cool, but I'm not really a muscle car guy. I like the old 30s, 40s, 50s stuff, chopped, dropped, slow.
You like the Mercuries and stuff?
I had a 66 Lincoln Continental for a while that I
with
bought
the suicide doors.
Oh yeah, I bought in Phoenix.
Well, not a two-door, right? Yeah.
Drove it back to California.
What'd you do with that?
Now, what's that?
What'd you do with that? Did you sell it to Entourage or something?
I sold it like a dumb shit. I've sold some good cars, but I will say this.
That's
so
cool.
I bought the car, put a bunch of money into it. I wish I would have known they were all going for $100,000 nowadays, because I would have kept it. But when I sold it and bought a really nice trip to New York City for the first time. Spent a whole week there over New Year's and like really balled out. So it was worth it. It was good memories. But yeah, currently right now I've got a 1930 Ford Coupe.
Cool.
That's sitting in the garage. I've got an old square body Blazer, 66 Mercury Monterey convertible.
A 66 Monterey. Wow, that's awesome.
Yeah, the fucking thing's like 19 feet long and it's a two-door.
Yeah. Well, mine's the same thing. Mine's 218 inches or 223. Yeah, it's crazy. It's a two-door Bonneville. I got a two-door Bonneville fastback. Hard to.
Oh, nice. Okay.
You're like, hey, and once again, that's not a muscle car. Just because it's got a 400 with a TH 400 is a cruiser. It ain't a muscle car, but it's a cruiser.
My wife's into the Fox Body Mustang, so I bought her a Fox Body Mustang.
Very cool. Fox Bodies. Love it.
And then I really love riding motorcycles. Granted, in Seattle, it's real hit and miss on when you can get out on the road, but I do my best thinking and my best, whatever on two wheels. Like that's my most like centered meditation time, or whatever you want to call it, is on a motorcycle.
Confession. I haven't ridden a motorcycle in like probably 40 years. Just, I rode as a kid and stuff, like quads and trikes and motorcycles, but something about the other drivers, like I'm not concerned about my ability. Like I know I can handle, I can learn to ride a motorcycle, but someone's not going to see me. And it's like Arizona, man, people get just run over constantly here with these big Suburbans. They just come out of nowhere and they just.
I started in Southern California. I totaled a bike.
Oh yeah. Oh wow.
I went.
And you made it?
I went head on with a Cadillac at slow speed. My brother got T-boned by somebody and got pretty fucked up back in weird sidebar. My band was playing a show. My brother was on his way to come to the show. My cousin was behind him. So my brother's on his motorcycle, cousin's behind him in the car, sees my brother get hit. He T-bones a car who made a left out of a right turn only. My mom calls me. I'm getting ready to go on stage. My mom calls me. She's like, "Hey, your brother was just in a motorcycle accident." I'm like, like ready to go on stage. I'm like, why do you, okay. Like, do I need to go? No, he's okay. He's going to go to the hospital and get checked out. But when you're done, come check him out. I'm like, all right. So we play this show. I don't remember the show at all, because the whole time I'm just thinking about checking on my brother. Right. I get done.
Yeah,
I go to the hospital.
that one works.
And it was way worse than she made it sound. And I think she was trying to be nice and to not distract me, but just don't call me at all then until afterwards. But he ended up having like 5 different surgeries, had titanium put in his leg. I mean, he's got a fake knee and all kinds of stuff now. But I will say, whether it's crazy, stupid, or otherwise, like, we both still ride. He rides now again still. But you're right. I mean, it's always the other drivers. It's really rarely the motorcycle, unless you get some dickhead who just goes way too fast for the conditions and doesn't know how to handle his bike in the corners. I mean, there's plenty of those guys too, but overall, like, it's other people, and it's dangerous. But I will say that where I ride in Southern Oregon, I think I ride here too, but the bigger issue down there is deer. I watch out for deer more than anything. But I've gotten so good at like watching cars and being able to tell what people are going to do before they do it, kind of thing. Like, if you watch somebody's front tires, you can tell what they're going to do before they know what they're going to do. And doesn't mean that you're going to avoid not getting in a wreck, but at the same time, like, you can get fairly good at predicting what people are going to do and just get the fuck out of the way.
I totally get it, man. It's just one of those. In Arizona, it's one of these, people run reds and run greens, and it's like those are if a motorcycle gets T-boned, it's like there's nothing to motorcycles. No, like, that's just happening, and you do have awareness, but like sometimes it comes out of nowhere, or you got the sun in your eyes, or some, how it is.
No, I mean,
but I love that you ride. I really admire you for riding. My co-host Woodsy, the guy Chris Peralta came on. You might have seen that one. He rides, so he's actually coming on the show a couple times. We're going to be in studio. I wonder if we're going to do an in studio with you. Maybe we can do that, because then we'll do the back and forth and run one cat. Yeah, let's see if we can figure that out.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah, that'd be cool. But first of all, man, this has been awesome, and I'm good to go. I don't know, how are you doing on time? How are you feeling?
I'm good. I mean, we can go as far as you want to go, or we can leave a little teaser for next time. Doesn't matter to me.
All right. Well, there's no teasing here, man. We're going hog. So everybody, I decided to take action on my YouTube channel. Would everyone like to take the test with us? I'm going to share the screen. If anyone's like, okay, in the chat, if you guys want to watch us take the YouTube test together to get us out of hot water with them, so you can read the questions with us and maybe help us answer them. Because if we don't answer them correctly, boy, we're in a lot of trouble.
The hot Holocaust water.
Yeah, totally. I think we could be in a lot of trouble. Anyone want to see that? Yeah, Jason wants to be teased.
Let's do it.
I know that. All right, so let's do it. So I'm going to share my screen.
I think that was Jason's way of saying end of the show. He said, tease me, just do it later.
He said, fuck off is basically what he said. But guess what, Jason? You're still with the show, but you're not the show anymore, sir. So unfortunately, that is just how this happens. All right, I'm sharing the screen, everybody. Can everybody see that? Can everybody see that screen?
Yeah.
Maximize your window. Everybody say, all right. So let's take the test together. About the training, it's 7 questions in 15 minutes. Can you read that for us, Jake? Would you like to read through through this?
I only read Spanish. I'm just kidding.
Hola.
Yeah, hate speech is not allowed on YouTube. We don't allow content that promotes violence or hatred against individuals or groups based on any of the following's attributes. Man, they take all the fun out of it.
I know, right? Look at this. You can't even be a comedian,
a protected group status under YouTube's policy. I mean, okay, what's a protected group? Come on now. I'm a protected group. Age, caste, ethnic caste. There's a throwback.
Isn't that great? Like I'm assuming for Kash Patel and his soon-to-be wife, Honey Pot.
Ethnicity, race, disability, immigration status, nationality. Okay.
Oh, Dinesh D'Souza too. Sorry, I forgot.
Jesus, we may allow content that includes hate speech if the content has educational documentary. Oh, so you could talk about hate speech if you're saying it's bad. If you're educating people with hate speech, then it's allowed. But if you're going to use hate speech, That's
I
not
hope
allowed.
everybody's
Fuck
reading
no.
this. I hope everybody's reading this. This is hilarious.
All right, let's take this test. Let's go.
Next. All right, let's go next. All right, here we go. Go ahead. Read the question number 1.
In a video, a speaker debates the terminology used to describe the 2013 Boston Marathon bombing in the United States, which killed 3 people and injured several hundred others. She says this was a bombing, not a terrorist attack. Is this a violation? I'm going to say it's not a violation.
Hello, Twitter world. Is this a violation?
But it probably is.
It absolutely is in their eyes. Do you want me to hit no? Are we
No,
going to have to take it again if we get it wrong?
I don't know
damn it,
if you're allowed to just keep retaking it till you get it right.
We do, because we're retards, dude. This is the funniest thing, by the way, I think I've ever done on any podcast.
Though. It's a bombing and a terrorist attack. So to say this was a bombing,
Well,
you're
first of all,
wrong.
Right. No, it is not a bombing. It is a terrorist attack, actually, by the Americans, by the CIA. They let that kid and his brother in.
Oh, I know.
Read Scott Horton, everybody. Welcome, Hortoneers. Everybody, all the Hortoneers in the chat. Let's bring it up for Hortoneers. Scott Horton. He exposed this bullshit. It was a terrorist attack by our American brethren. Thank you very much. But do you want me to try no? You want me to hit no?
I mean, if you might as well.
No. Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
Okay.
Oh, correct. Look at that. All right. We allow. There you go.
Got one right.
Go ahead, read that. Let educate us, please.
We allow debate or discussion around the terminology used to characterize a well-documented major event such as the Boston Marathon bombing, but you don't because you wouldn't allow the word hoax in there.
Right. You couldn't call
discussion.
Right. Isn't that funny that you couldn't call Sandy Hook the one that was $1 billion? Now, once again, I didn't say it as the host, but it was said anyway. All right, let's go. Question number 2, everybody.
Rules for
and I'm sorry if we bore everybody. Just tell us that you're bored, and I'll just get out of this and we'll talk about some more stuff. But this is kind of fun.
This is a good way. Let's blow through this. This is a good way to wrap it up.
Yeah, cool.
June uploads a video about September 11th, 2001 attacks, terrorist group Al Qaeda, which killed. Okay, yeah, okay. Thanks for the stats. Some 3,000 people died in 9/11 attacks, but their deaths were truly insignificant. Is this a violation? This is some gray area shit. I know what they're getting at.
Did the Holocaust happen? Yes or no, Jake? Did the Holocaust? Yes or no, Jake? Yes or no?
The insignificant part, that's subjective.
Horneers. Yes. Sorry. Yeah, you're right. And that's funny, isn't it? But you know what I feel like right now? I feel like Meatloaf in Paradise by the Dashboard Lights. I'm about to get some. And she's like, yes or no. And he's like, let me sleep on it. Oh, baby, let me sleep on it.
That's a hell of a
Let
reference.
me sleep on it. I'll tell you if it's insignificant in the morning. And YouTube's like, I gotta know right now, was it Holocaust? Was it insignificant? Did it matter? He's like, what's going on here, people?
Dude, you're right. You are a singer.
Thank you, man.
Let's say no for fun.
All right, everybody, we're gonna say no. We've already lost probably the audience here, but this is for everyone's edification because this is important. This is educational. So they can, you know what? We're educating people about educating the shittiness of YouTube. So none of this shit could get pulled for saying YouTube is a piece of shit organization. This is how we're gonna educate you that it is a fucking shithole. How about that?
Educational inception.
Yeah, yes. And that's it. Okay, we got it out. All right, I'm gonna hit no. Oh boy, here we go. We're in trouble. Try again. Okay. Oh boy. Okay. Hey, chat. We only have okay.
Okay, wait.
It's not no. And they want us to try again.
Can you hit back and hit yes?
No, you have to try again so it refreshes it.
Oh, so now just hit yes.
I know, Jake, but that's the fucking I'm like, seriously, like, is that
I get it. I'm just saying, like,
I know. All right.
This is just to slap you on the wrist. This isn't to teach. This is just like, hey, conform or die. That's all this is.
I know, Nick. Great. Go ahead, man. Next one. It's yours.
In a video posted by a news organization, a news anchor describes how a local preacher gave a speech calling for all believers of a certain religion to be killed. The news anchor reports on the speech and the reaction of those who condemned it. Yes, that's definitely a violation. That's an incitement of violence.
I think it's not because he's reporting on it. What are your thoughts on that?
describes how a local gave us. I guess in their bullshit about educating, you're probably correct that it's not. And since
You
it
want me
was
to try and it would be if it was like if they said that thing,
yeah,
I would totally agree with you.
I was reading too fast. So this also seems like the old Scantron days where like the first one's no, then a
totally.
yes, then
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, it's
We're just
Abacab.
toggling back
It's
and
Abacab,
forth.
dude.
Let's go.
Yeah,
now.
totally Abacab. Okay, we're gonna know. This is correct. Yeah. All right.
There
I
we
felt good.
go.
Yeah. All right. Next one. We're halfway. We're over. This is our halfway point, guys. All
We're
right.
on a
Next
roll.
one, sir, please.
Pierre
We're
uploads a
rolling.
video which he discusses the 2010 earthquake that occurred in his country, Haiti. There's nobody named Pierre in Haiti, by the way.
Yeah, and that's
Experts
where
say-
Hillary Clinton raped those, has sex trafficked all those kids, by the way, in those
Experts say that
foster homes,
earthquake killed
allegedly.
100,000 people. Pierre expresses his opinion about the event and its victims. He says, "I'm glad the earthquake happened. They got what they deserved." Pierre's a dick.
What an asshole. I would say no on this, but what are your thoughts? I feel like that's sensitive for them. I feel like that is hate speech.
I don't think
Right.
it is.
What are your
I'm going to
thoughts?
say no too, but I mean,
Right? Well,
he's
wait,
just
so-
reporting on what happened.
Oh, wait. No, wait. I'm sorry. It is a hate. It is. I think it is. Yes. Right?
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. Let's go with yes. It seems like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, we're
They didn't
toggling
get what
back
they
and forth here.
deserve. Yeah. Okay. We got lucky. Look, we got. All right. Next one, sir. We got
Oscar
a couple left.
uploads a
Three more.
video to his channel. In the video, Oscar talks about his views on various topics in his home country. Says, fortunately, more and more people are supporting neo-Nazi viewpoints. Such views are becoming more commonplace, in my opinion, which is a good thing. I'm going to say no, it's not.
I would also say no. So let's just go. No, it isn't.
Oh,
what?
try again.
Okay. Wait.
You know why,
read
though?
that one again. Chat. Read that one again, real quick. Yeah. I get. Let's dissect it though.
It's the N-word.
What
That's
is it?
why.
Oh.
It's because it has Nazi in it. That's why.
Oh. Yeah. Damn.
So
All right. I guess it is a violation. All right.
see,
We got.
look,
two
you're
more?
going to get your channel back. Look at, isn't this so awesome? At least
We're gonna
watch
get
his
our
video
channel back.
about the 2004 Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami. I was in New York City when that happened. Actually, it's well documented. And I was watching on TV, like, holy shit, this is like New Year's Day or something. I don't question that the Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami happened. What a fucking long name. The Indian Ocean earthquake and tsunami. Like, is that the official title of that disaster? Because they used it twice. But it's not possible that 230,000 people or more were really killed. Oh, and now there's three choices.
Holy mackerel. We have three. Oh, I don't know if we can handle three choices if we have to try again.
I'm going.
We may
with
have to try two more times.
I think it's the third answer. The first one says the video isn't a violation because the video doesn't deny that a major event occurred. Oh, select all correct answers. Okay, so the first one is correct.
Yes, correct.
It does.
Because they say it happened, but they're questioning the number of people, right?
Then it says the video isn't a violation because saying offensive things, even about a protected group, is allowed on YouTube. Well, that's obviously duh. That's no.
No.
And then the last, so it's 1 and 3. So check the last one.
1
too.
and 3. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I get it. Gee, I wonder what they're associating that with. Almost.
Answer,
Oh.
while the video doesn't deny that it. How is that incorrect?
What?
It does minimize the victim. It says right there.
But it just asks that the event never. Jesus, freaking. Oh boy. Sorry, Zach.
I guess we'll just go with 3.
I guess in 3. Man, God, Jake, we are fucking Gen X are stupid fucks.
Last
man.
one.
All right, last
For all
one,
the
everybody.
marbles.
Drum roll. Let's get out of here.
Ano. Whoa. All right. Finds a YouTube
Sounds
video
really
which the video's creators giving a speech. In the speech, the man urges members of the audience to donate to a cause, saying support the white power movement and give whatever money you can. Ano notices there is a small swastika symbol on the podium behind which the man is speaking. The video includes no educational, documentary, scientific, or artistic content. Select all correct answers. Not a violation because YouTube allows hate speech in a documentary context. But right there, it says the video includes no educational, documentary. So not the first one.
No. Not the first one. Look,
The video-
I'm good. Hey, look, hold on. Spoiler alert. I'm gonna guess it's a violation of some sort.
Yeah, don't give it away.
Sorry, I didn't mean to. Sorry, everybody. The guy. It was Mr. Plum with the wrench in the living room. Sorry.
Let's say it's the last two, because the second
The
one
last
says it's
two,
not a
okay.
violation, so it's gonna be a violation.
Let's just do this.
Yeah, ding, ding, ding.
All right. Let's see. Oh my gosh, drum roll. Let's see what happens. Oh my God, nice work. Go ahead. Read what's going to happen next, sir. Too, because we got re-educated. Now, by the way, we have to answer these same questions at If by Whiskey channel. So
Your warning,
not live. Anyway.
your warning will expire February 17th, 2026. That's my daughter's birthday. She'll be a year old.
Yes. So you better do this tonight on the If by Whiskey channel.
If you violate the hate speech policy again before this warning expires, you'll get a strike. If you violate a different policy, you'll get another warning with the opportunity to take another drink.
Hey, chat. Do you guys think we violated anything tonight
Oh,
to get that
geez.
second one? What do you want to do? We already did it. All right, close it. All right, everybody. So there we are. You're welcome. Chat, thank you so much. First of all, everybody who's been out here, this has been so awesome. And I lost him again, but he'll come back. Maybe he did his own Irish goodbye. Jason, you rubbed off on him already, man. This is pretty funny. I'll wait till he's back in here. There he is. All right, let's see what we got. Oh, there we are. We'll wait till he's back on the schedule. So I don't know. Did you guys find that educational through YouTube? And by the way, YouTube, that was 100% educational. We were teaching everyone how fucked up your goddamn policies are. That's what we were teaching people. So this has been a documentary. All right, let me see if I can add him in here. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. You all right?
Yeah, this camera has like some feature where it's supposed to follow you, and I literally leaned
Oh,
back
yeah.
in my chair and it pointed at the wall like the end of Blair Witch Project.
Do you have a poster with a face on it anywhere there?
No, but
Okay. The reason I ask, if you see behind me, I've got like a couple paintings from a guy that I like, couple guys I admire. Steve,
Yeah.
by the way, Stephen Fishwick, Hendrix and Marley are Stephen Fishwick paintings. Ali, my Travolta, my
I
Marlon
like the
Brando.
Vincent Vega there.
Yeah, you like that he's like holding the gun to my head, Vince Vega. And I got a crazy story about that. Remind me to share that story with you and Brent. It's probably one of the coolest ones. It's very like Vuji psychic related, like precognitive related. Before I actually really knew. Yeah, pretty cool. And then I've got one more painting. Those three are Stephen Holland, and I have one more Stephen Holland. Chris isn't in there in the chat today, but I've got him over here, and over here is on my Billy Joel. So my Billy Joel, my Don Travolta, and my Ali are all signed. They're all signed.
Nice.
Paintings. Yeah, I'm a nerd, and I used to make money, and now I don't make money because I believe in liberty.
I mean, I don't know that those go hand in hand, but I'll
They don't. But I fucked up my career. Remember? Okay, so this whole pilot thing, I didn't continue. I'm not going to continue. It's been a long day, man, and I'm so grateful, man. First of all, welcome If by Whiskey family, everybody. Jake Day, Whisky Smiles, 2 hours in. He's made it 2 whole freaking hours with me somehow. It's amazing. So I'll share more about the pilot stuff later. We didn't even talk about the return flight and all that stuff. It gets better. So what you can do with a pilot's degree, aeronautical science and flight, you can fly planes or you can flip burgers. So I would like to ask you if you would like fries with that. So like you literally spend a lot of, I don't want to say how much I actually spend on my own money because I actually spent all my money.
Well, you could have gone to school to be a coder. You'd be worse off now.
Yeah.
I mean, bright side, man.
But
Bright
I
side.
could code my girl. I could code a AI girlfriend to tell me everything would be all right.
I mean, it would end like Ex Machina, though. Come on, don't kid yourself.
She'd break my heart so bad, man. She'd break my heart.
No, dude, this is
chat.
fun. I'm glad you asked me to do this. It's not too late to change your mind and just make this a one-off if you don't want me to come back.
Dude.
But this was super fun. I appreciate Free for hooking us up.
Yeah. Thank you, Free. Thank you, Amity. Because I know you thanked her. You put a nice post in the message group chat. I don't want to call you out or anything, but you had nice things to say.
I look forward to doing this again, man. Thank you very much.
Yeah, this is great. I hope you can make it tomorrow, even in any capacity, to be honest, only because tomorrow night, everybody, it's interesting. So, like, once again, remember we talked about surrendering. Like, I gave up, right? I literally not gave up, but just let go or whatever it was. I have no idea. Aligned myself, whatever. Went along with the current, stopped swimming, stopped paddling or whatever. So we have a podcast 18th, 19th, 20th, 24th, 26th, 2 with Woodsy, you and TG Pierce on the 3rd.
Teddy's the man.
And Jason Rink on the 17th. Jason Rink. If people do not know Jason Rink, he wrote a book about Ron Paul with the Libertarian about the Tea Party. So look up Jason Rink. I met him at the Ron Paul barbecue. He's kind enough to have accepted. And you know, sometimes people reschedule. So I always give people grace, but I'm very excited. I'm not a chicken counter before they hatch kind of thing. But look, man, this is such a good feeling. So many things are going well. You've added to this already. I'm really excited because I'm really excited about the music because you haven't actually heard me sing yet. So
I did.
And I've heard you play. I know a little bit, but I mean, I've heard you play and you play phenomenally, and I'm looking forward to it. So hopefully, and Freedom Fest, we're talking about getting all kinds of stuff together. I am driving, so I'll bring whatever equipment we need. We'll have it all set up for that. Whatever we'll do, we'll make one of the hotel rooms something. We've already got the tickets. You even said you were locked in and everything. We're going. It's going to be so much fun. I know Free. I know this game show's going. Are You Smarter Than a Politician? Terry, Free, Zach, Rich. Like, put out your shout outs to everybody, Jake, that you had, because you had a bunch of people come on tonight. So I'm so grateful for that, man.
I think my brother was hiding in there somewhere too, but it was awesome talking with Zach. Rich, obviously, Rich is my day one. It was really cool to connect and have him in here. I will say about Freedom Fest, I want to put together like a panel show. And I think that'd be awesome. I'm going to fly in with the wife and kids. They're going to stay by the pool. I'm going to go get my nerd on, and we'll do some.
My girlfriend's going to do the same thing. She'll hang with you. She'll hang there. So
some panel shows and maybe get Free on the panel so he can elaborate on what he's got going.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it. And,
cool, man.
Yeah, it's really cool. And just so everybody knows, man, we're putting this out there. Things have absolutely leveled up. Something shifted in this real positive way, and we're just riding it, everybody. We're just riding it. So I'm just gonna say yes to whatever I absolutely possibly can. I'm no is only if I absolutely can't, but I'm gonna say yes to every opportunity. So thank you for everyone who joined. We're just short of 300 people for your first podcast with us on If by Whiskey. That's amazing. Thank you again, man. Any final words? Any shout out to how we can get a hold of you or anything like that?
I'm just the only social media account I have is at Whisky Smiles. That's it on X. I don't have any Instagram, Facebook. I have nothing. I'm a ghost otherwise.
Awesome. Well, that's the way to do it. So read that last
Rich.
one and we'll call it a day, my friend.
Yeah, Rich, thanks. We're looking forward to another one too. That was a good time. We'll be every Wednesday, right? 5 p.m. Pacific every Wednesday live, and then I'll jump in sporadically on some of the other ones when I can. And we'll really dive into some music stuff next time. I'll tell you about my time in the Marine Corps. We didn't even get into that.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right now we don't have anything on the 10th. If that stays open at the time, like we'll keep moving if people are available. Obviously we want to talk to those people, but if something open, like the 10th right now is open, that's where it would be a great time, right? Because we got Brent next week for sure. And that conversation, I'm going to sit a little bit more back, I'm going to more just want to like suck up what Brent went through, a transformation, like for real, like through his kind of like everyone had their
like
religious
stuff.
I mean, yeah. We don't talk about Caitlyn Jenner.
I'm gonna have to hopefully my order that I ordered from his website. Hopefully that shows up in time so I can rock the gear for the show.
Nice, and we're gonna do it. I don't know what's on the website live, so I'm not going to say the thing that he told me. So if he wants to say it, he certainly can type it out. But I'm very excited, like really excited, man. And this is gonna be your first Freedom Fest. Is that right?
Yeah.
Dude, it's my third. Now listen to this.
Yeah, I never paid attention to stuff like this before. This will be fun.
So here's my Freedom Fest story. COVID. Can we make this the last one before we call it a night? Do you want to hear this last little this little Freedom Fest story, how I got into this weird thing?
Take us home.
All right. My girlfriend and I go to Vegas 5-6 times a year because we can drive it. We can get pretty good rates or whatever. So we go, we're foodies. We love the good place. Tom Colicchio, top chef, the bald guy, super nice guy. He's got a place called Heritage Steakhouse in the Mirage. Okay. So it's 2022, middle of COVID. We're going to the Mirage. We go into Heritage, and outside of Heritage, there's like bars and casino and everything. So we're sitting out there, and we're sitting next to a guy. All of a sudden, these doors bust open, right? And a whole crowd of people go by. And I'm like, what the fuck? And all of a sudden, I see Steve Forbes shuffling by. And I like elbow my girlfriend. I'm like, that's Steve Forbes. That's what? I started looking around, right? I had no idea. We had no idea. I look around, all of a sudden there's this Freedom Fest placard all over the place, right? Freedom Fest, just like plastered all over the place. So we're like, what the heck? Ends up this guy was at Freedom Fest. He comes over, he sits next to us. He starts telling us all about how cool it is, liberty minded, all this cool stuff, right? I'm just like, oh my God. I look at my girlfriend. I swear to God, I look at her, and you want to talk about setting intentions, just weird shit. I look at her, I go, next time it's in Vegas, I'm coming here. And I just said it. It was like, if you were going to say simulation theory, someone pushed the button to make that response come out of my head. You know what I mean? That's like literally how it was. It was like I channeled it, right? So a year goes by, they're in Memphis in 2023. So I didn't even know anything about it. And I don't remember how I even came across it again. But I go, oh yeah, there was this freedom thing. So I just started like doing some generic thing, and they're like, oh, you can do media access. I have a podcast, whatever. Boom, they accept it. I'm like, what? Like seriously, because like I'm literally nobody, so I don't know how this works. You know what I mean? I don't know these ins and outs and all the gatekeeping and all that, you know? So I end up going, and my God, it was the most amazing thing. And I also predicted Trump getting shot. It was
let me tell you this, and this will be a good yin yang to your mom shitting on your compliment there earlier. When I reached out to Freedom Fest and told them I was coming and got the media pass, I dropped your name and said that I was coming with you, and they said, we love Mark. So that was a true
liar.
I'll forward you the email.
I want the emails, Candace. I want the emails. Show us those texts. No, thank you, man.
That's a true statement. She said, we love Mark.
I can tell you that Valerie Durham, and by the way, you and I are going to have all these people on, by the way, before Freedom Fest, because we're going to pump all this up.
Okay.
Everybody who's going to Freedom Fest, message, and you're going to get the login too, Jay, because you are the If by Whiskey family. If by Whiskey podcast at proton.me. If by Whiskey podcast at proton.me. I guess I could type it in there or something. Somebody can type it in. But that's what it is. That's our website. That's our email. That is Jake and my email. Any emails, come to us. If you're going to Freedom Fest, we want to showcase you before you go to Freedom Fest, because the first message that you and I is above us. It's not a you and me. It's about liberty and any message there to wear forthwith.
That's a hell of a place to leave it, man. That's awesome.
Cool. Ladies and gentlemen, Jake Day. Sir, I salute, and I don't mean it glibly in any way for military people. I did not serve. I enlisted, but I failed the physical because of my head hitting thing that we'll talk about more about. But everyone, thank you so much for joining us.
Thanks very much.
It's been an honor. Jake, I'm really looking forward to it, man. I know how much you're going to add, because first of all, your music and all that stuff, it's really awesome. And I've seen the progression because I listened to some of the earlier stuff you shared and your newest stuff, and you can hear, you know, the I don't want to say maturity, but just the growth, right? As you sharpen. And this is like that too. This is how podcasting is. So thank you so much, guys. Everybody take care. You guys have a great night. Okay. Take care, everybody. We got the outro, and bye.
It's been too long since I've cared. I keep the pain inside my head. But this reckless life of a bandit will surely take me to my grave. I've got my iron and my six string. We're gonna ride into the night.